Guys, stand back. I'm about to go into the bit. Bit.
In the first aeon, I was the Great Spirit. In the second aeon, men knew me as the Horned God, Pangenitor, Panphage. In the third aeon, I was the Dark One, the Devil. In the fourth aeon, men knew me not, for I am the Hidden One. In the fifth aeon, I appeared before you as Baphomet, the god before all gods who shall endure to the end of the earth. In this new aeon, I appear to you as CMN.
Imagine that there is a brilliant white light just above.
Is commentary on the magic art.
In the years of the primal force, in the dawn of terrestrial birth.
Oh, that was very educational.
Now magic will take place. Don't be fooled by what I just said.
Welcome, everyone. I am String Musician Kennedy, and this is Chaos Magic News. Pod save America? More like go get a pod damn job. Joining me, as always, is my absolute American dream of a co-host, Busty Rhodes.
Hey.
Busty Rhodes, yeah. Oh man, I thought you would when you first said, "Is like, you're going to be Crusty Rhodes."
I think
switched it up on you.
I like the little stab.
Would you rather be Busty or Crusty? Just tell me. I don't.
I think the answer is obvious. Busty.
I think there's really no choice.
Tits.
Much like America,
Scabies.
you think that we're presented with a two-party solution, and really they lead to the same place. Oh God. Also joining us is our wonderful Gary behind the glass. Everyone give a wave to Gary.
Hey guys, I can't see you. This is a podcast, you idiots. How you doing?
Everyone doing good?
Yeah, all is well in the hood, my friend. I mean, it's all going good, boss.
We're not doing the boss thing.
All right.
Just have an episode of CMN Undercover Boss.
How would that even work?
There's like I just come on the show doing this voice. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I see.
I'm the new intern.
Like, this guy's a fucking narc.
Yeah, you would narc on the podcast. I don't even know what we're doing that would be like narc worthy, but you would be informing to somebody.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing either.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. See, he's signaling with the Morse code to the feds, but you can't tell because once again, this is a podcast.
Yeah, you idiots.
Yeah, I'm good. I was actually working today, but our listeners may have noticed that I haven't talked about being at work for quite some time because I wasn't.
How eloquent. I thought you were going somewhere else.
I get it. You look.
For those of you that don't know, Kennedy actually reenacts that one part in Post Office where Chinaski, aka Charles Bukowski, just is unemployed for a large stint and he's just drinking and betting money on the ponies. And then eventually he runs out of money and he's like, I got to get another job again. Shit.
Why does this keep happening?
I keep spending all my money and I have no money.
But it's a good spiritual experience for him. And he gets a lot more done on the podcast. So it's, I don't complain.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about something that has nothing to do with being employed, maybe tangentially. Like, being employed can start out as, kind of fun and interesting and then become terrifying, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely. And it could go both ways. Yeah.
Well, I think what we wanted to talk about was when your magical practice goes from like fun to scary. Like, it's like, oh man, this shit's for real. That's actually a demon.
Oh yeah. When the power of the woo becomes so strong that you're like, yep, okay, we're We need to maybe do something else about this.
Maybe this was actually a bad idea.
Yeah, I can attest
I
to
always
some of that
describe them
recently.
as the fuck this. You guys know Mitch Hedberg, obviously.
Yeah.
Hedberg had a joke where he was like, imagine being like a priest or something, and then the day that like you have to actually fight the devil comes. You're like, oh man, I didn't think that shit was for real.
Yeah,
so
that's
I always
totally
call them
that's
the I
exactly.
didn't think this shit was for real moments.
And those can be real. You can have like the positive, oh, I didn't think that shit was for real. But then there's like we're talking about like when you're fucking around and now like something has come to roost and it's bad news.
Yeah.
Now for me, right, my problem with it, because I've mentioned like the Cosmic Trigger games and Cosmic Trigger prizes where I went kind of mental for a little bit. But the reason I don't go into too many details is because there's never anything you can use like describing what happened to like the feeling of terror and like paranoia and stuff like that. Those never translate very well. All right. Like, unless you can say, oh yeah. And then like my windows got knocked out, or like,
I woke up standing in the middle of the bathtub with
with water,
and I don't remember how I got
water beneath me, and I'm
exactly like if you can say like something really wild like that happened, like, yeah, I guess that can be kind of scary. But for the most part,
they almost, and even like I woke up and like, I woke up with blood on the mirrors or something like that. They just have the problem of like, they turn into like bad
creepypasta. You know what I mean?
Right. The
Where
minute
it's like
something gets a little paranormal, it becomes immediately like
they either don't come across as believable, or they come across as like you're either exaggerating something bad that happened or you're lying, and those are like the two options.
Could you imagine like somebody tells you this really like fucked up story that happened to them, but all you're really thinking is like, I was messing around with the Goetia one night and I thought that the triangle was properly secured, but apparently I didn't use the right name of God or whatever. So instead of summoning something that was going to help me with my tax returns, I summoned the Rhatboi. The Rhatboi came into my room while I slept and he stood on me like a sleep paralysis demon. And all night I was saying, please. And all I was saying was, please, Mr. Rhatboi, I'm just trying to sleep. I had to go back to my job at the tuna cannery.
But he's saying, no, you summoned me, and now you got to pay the price. You got to pay the Rhatboi price. And every day that week, I'd wake up to go to my job at the cannery,
and you wouldn't believe it, but my car keys were left in the garbage disposal, in the coffee maker, in the ice machine, and then they got frozen inside of an ice cube.
I don't even know how that works. It seems like that should be said. There's clearly a water problem, right? The water has to go into the little ice cube tray and then get extruded out. How did my keys make it into there? So clearly this is paranormal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely. Wait a minute. What?
What?
Hang on.
Wait.
Give me a moment to process this.
But that's what it sounds like, right? I mean, like, am I the only one that?
No,
like,
you're 100% correct. I just love the
I don't think he is.
No, I'm with you, dog. I get you. Like,
I went to the pizza. I went to a pizzeria for my. Sorry, no. There's more. No. I'm committing now. There's more to this. You guys got to know the rest of this guy's story.
oh shit. Okay.
After my weeks of torment at the hands of the Rhatboi demon, I attempted a cord-cutting ritual with a dear devotee follower of my coven. But instead of sage, we used oregano.
And
Classic Italian food and magic mistake.
But the oregano seemed to only entice the Rhatboi's hunger. Because later, when I went to the local pizzeria, I was met with a host of ugly paranormal entities that I can only say is the Rhatboi entourage. It appeared as an animatronic
entourage.
It appeared as an animatronic. Guys, it appeared as an animatronic, like a band of animatronics doing a song and dance. All right. That's the joke I'm trying to get to here. All right. There's also a bit about how the claw machine where you get the prizes like bleeds.
That wasn't really relevant to the story, so I left it out.
It's just a good little visual, like a little.
But it's pretty scary.
It's pretty wild.
Oh my!
Holy shit, dude! That was awesome.
Look, my point is
that was so much.
I'm not sure what the point I was actually trying to make about this. I kind of got lost in the sauce of Rhatboi.
We're on a journey now, my friend. We're doing other shit.
The Rhatboi sauce, which makes the pizza.
We're going to talk about some other stuff today, folks. But
is
now,
this just Chucky? Wait! I just realized something. Is the Rhatboi just like evil Chuck E. Cheese?
I don't know. You
Evil
made
Sheldon,
the character.
fucking-
I don't really know.
Okay, guys, get this. All right. It's like a demonic looking little rat boy. He's got like the body of like a small Victorian child, right?
yeah,
Or like, no,
Like a
he's got like a full grown human body, right? But he's dressed like a Victorian child.
Oh,
Right?
that's horrifying.
That is
And then
fucking
he's just got
gnarly.
like a rat. He's just got a rat head, but he runs a pizza shop.
Okay, hold on, Victorian.
Wait a minute. He wasn't just
wearing
at the
child.
pizza. Like it's Rhatboi Pizza.
I think no. I think he leased it after he got released.
He
into the
leased
world.
it. Victorian rat boy leased a building.
He's got a good credit score.
I don't know why. Out of
That's
everything
why-
you've said in the last 5 to 10 minutes,
That's
that's
unbelievable.
the thing. But like,
Well, as we have established, I summoned him with the Goetia to help with my tax return. This is a demon of financery.
that's what it is. He's got
Rat
crazy
boy
fucking capital.
financery.
He doesn't have any liquid. He's never had liquid for years, and he's just fucking all this magic has been helping.
The rat boy's thirsty. He has no liquidity. He wants your blood. The blood of the rat boy.
Oh my god! Can we go?
But that's
do we have a segment to go back to anymore? Is this Rhatboi?
The Adventures of Rat Boy. Only on Patreon. We have
The Adventures of Rhatboi. Wow. Okay. All right. Hang on. Time out. Let's just unravel this a little bit. Like,
yeah. What were you? The whole
the
point of this
idea
was
is
what?
that you summon. No. We're done with that bit. Actually, we're just talking about the Rhatboi now. You summoned the Rhatboi with Goetia, but you used the triangle was wrong. Like it was at a right angle.
didn't
or
use the-
something.
you
Like,
did-
I don't know.
I consulted the narcotic manuscripts, but
Oh my God.
supposedly I had imposed the wrong.
Who's this character, by the way? Like,
He's the best, is what he is.
I am the nameless
internet
narrator.
magician, I guess.
Yeah. The nameless narrator in the plight of the rat boy.
Oh
The
my
Rat Boy.
fucking God.
When your Jane Doe character isn't even your like fucking good.
We were talking about how magic sometimes goes from like fun times and interesting
To rat boy. Yeah.
to the Rat Boy.
To the rat boy. Sometimes
Into the Rat Boy. That's the sequel movie. Is that
Into the Rat Boy
Into
verse?
the Rat Boy.
Fuck, do we just abandon this bit and go to the news? Holy fuck.
No, man, tie it back together. What are we doing?
well, okay, the point is that
Right, okay. The Rat Boy was brought up in reference to the fact that sometimes people respond to their magic being fucking weird and scary by making it sound like a cheap creepypasta type bullshit. That was the idea of Rat Boy, right?
yeah, something like that. Maybe it was just really funny. Maybe it's just like really great if I get to do that voice.
Cohost is like, maybe I just want to
And
make you guys laugh. Maybe I just want to have a good time.
Maybe this was an excuse.
Maybe this was an elaborate ploy by the rat boy.
Oh no, he's the Rat Boy.
And now
He's been the Rat Boy all along.
yeah, it's me, the rat boy.
Oh my
And now that I've seeded this idea into your subconscious, I grow stronger.
Yeah, I
The
guess
rat
Rat
boy
Boy's at, like,
egregor.
he's a
The rat
cognito hazard,
boy
like,
egregor.
the Rat Boy egregor. Coolest egregor.
I
ever.
live inside. I live inside.
Wow, holy fuck.
Listeners, you are being taken over by the Rhatboi. Please, your nearest pizzeria.
We're so hungry.
Free the children. You said pizza places, so like I was thinking.
Oh man, that's good, man. Actually, Rhatboi might be an okay demon if he's trying to like stop the Pizzagate stuff.
Yeah, I stand Rhatboi.
Well, I would assume that like because he believes
I stand
in
with the
Pizzagate stuff, he's
Rhatboi.
evil.
Me and Rhatboi are tight.
It's been 10 minutes of Rhatboi. I just want you to know how long you've been dealing with this. Does it feel longer, listener?
You were just saying we didn't do enough characters.
Did I?
He didn't say that.
I said that. And I didn't tell
said
that to anybody in this room.
I said that in my darkest moments. and
who was there in my
Rhatboi-
darkest moments?
It's me,
the Rhatboi, reaching beyond the veil.
Taking you at your weakest, at your most vulnerable.
Oh my god. I'm like a cancer. It won't be quick, but it will be painful.
Shit.
Become a member of the Rhatboi entourage. $5 you can play the
$5 on
patreon.com/ Chaos Magic News. Become a member of the Rhatboi entourage. Oh my god.
Definitely not now. All right,
Oh my God.
abort. Let's just go to the news.
Oh my god. We're gonna leave this in. This is listeners. This is good to you.
Do you like what's happening?
We tried, listener. Right? We tried to have a conversation, but
And I
Rhatboi was too strong.
The Rhatboi was too strong. Oh my god. This is going to be one of those like when somebody asks, "Hey, where do I start with you guys?" Not episode 43.
42.
No, full send it.
Okay, well, just do the news thing. Just do the news thing.
Oh, wait. What? I don't know what you mean.
Do not do this today. Not after Rhatboi.
Wait.
You have
Is
one
that
or the
when
other, not both.
Yeah, you can have Rhatboi,
no.
or you can
Oh,
have
no. No, guys, I feel him deep within.
Oh,
He's coming
no.
forth. And the
God.
Rhatboi is going to ask, "What?"
He realizes this is like a pitch down effect, right? So it's just going to be his regular voice.
Oh no. Just me monotone.
What's
What's in the news?
Wow. What's in the news indeed? Holy fuck.
that was awesome.
This just in, small town pizzeria. No, I'm sorry. Okay, for real.
Oh my god, there's no episode anymore.
It's just the Rhatboi bit.
It's always been Rhatboi.
It's always been.
It's been me the whole time.
Do we want to talk about
Rhatboi
anything?
news?
No, stop.
Sorry.
Please. Please.
I'm sorry. Also, I promise that we'll hold on Rhatboi content.
I'm gonna put up the triangle. He's gonna be in the triangle for a while. Okay. Do we have anything to say about the election at this point? No.
Kambambla is pretty cool. I saw her on a picture once. I got to get that.
Yeah, I like
photographer.
Kamala Harris too. There we go. That was a joke I should have fucking done, right? You should have been Kamala Harris last week.
Oh, that's a good one. That's really good. I mean, Kamala Harris is pretty good.
Kamala Harris.
Awesome.
What was the one I did?
pretty
Kamala Sheila Harris is what I did,
and
and that's a joke that's funny to me.
And that's a little one for me.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything update worthy. Like, we could talk about the Elon Trump interview, I suppose, right?
Would you consider that
But
an
do
actual
we-
interview? To be honest,
No.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely like ass kissing.
It was like
minute. It was
a really
like
shitty like attempt at propaganda. It was like really like, you guys want to hear some shit? And then they didn't deliver.
I remember someone like, it didn't go on like immediately. It was like held up for like 45 minutes or some shit. And someone said something to the effect of like, oh yeah, Trump is hosting it now because Elon got like disconnected. And I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be the funniest fucking thing in the world if, like, Trump, like, mid-interview, like, boomer, like, fat-fingered something and, like, kicked Elon out of the call and he's just talking to himself for, like, 2 hours?
And I told them, Elon, are you listening? I thought you were going in a slightly different direction of what if he, like, fat-fingered something, unmuted himself and said some wild-ass shit, like before the start or after, you know what I mean? Like, goddamn, Elon should be more like Felon. He's a felon. That wasn't good. I'm going to remove that. That's bad.
No, that's actually, that's better than any joke I could have come up with because everything I was thinking of is just Trump saying slurs. So
yeah, that's pretty slurific.
We're almost, I feel like maybe we've kind of had our last hurrah before everybody's sort of locked in, if that makes sense. There was the big upset of, okay, now it's Kamala running. And I suppose we could look at it like, well, Kamala might say something really, really stupid and like blow her whole whatever. It's like she says, I'm going to eat a baby on camera or something, you know, stupid like that. But by and large, it's like she's right at that sweet spot of she's got the minimal amount of time to fuck everything up before the votes come in. And she also got this big boost of like a lot of eyes are on her and a lot of people are just psyched that they don't have to vote for Biden, you know?
Yeah.
That is a very interesting move on the Democratic side of this.
I was talking about this in the Discord where it almost feels planned. Not like in January of 2020. They were like, and then we'll make him drop out at the last minute. It's genius. But like definitely that thought of like, they might have already known that this is where it was heading, or at least were entertaining the possibility. And they were like, okay, here's the minimum amount of time it takes for us to get all this shit off the ground that like she's going to be good and make like, you know, she'll have ballot access and this, that, and the other. And then like, this also gives her the minimum amount of time to fuck things up.
Yeah. It's because it's like, and also you can't have a scandal in 80 days. So good job.
Well, you can. You've got to be really good.
Yeah, but she is fairly good, I guess.
You got to know a thing or two about the Rhatboi.
You got to get Rhatboi on your side. You have a little talk with Rhatboi.
I mentioned this when you were talking about that before. I don't think that the Democrats wanted to do this. I think they got forced into doing this. But I think once they knew that they were going to have to get Biden to pull out and put Kamala in, I think they exacerbated the situation. I think they probably went ahead and played up to the fact that, like, I feel like almost to the point that I feel like Nancy Pelosi and the other loyalists who were like, no, it's going to be Biden's decision over and over again, were doing that in order to sort of push forward the thing of like, oh God, please Biden, just drop out. I don't want to have to vote for Joe Biden. Please, please. I feel like they like kept him in for like a week longer than they needed to, just to really get people worried that like, oh my God, are we going to vote for President Rutabaga again?
Oh. Okay. You know, in the weirdest way, like, because I remember on the last episode, I used the metaphor of like the aura or the egregoric fervor that comes around people, and how I feel like there was a tipping point somewhere where Biden went into the red, and that tipping point might have just been like the last debate. Because you notice, like, right when that happens, like, what happens right after the debate? The most emboldening thing to Trump's base that could have possibly happened, you know?
The Democratic Party going, like, ooh, Hitler, he's a little older than we realized.
Bad debate. You look like a potato. You look like a potato.
You look like stage. A goddamn potato.
You look like a spud on stage talking about how you are the first black female president that served under the first.
Talking about being the first black.
He looks deep into did you watch the debate?
Oh yeah.
Okay, do you remember the part where he looked into the camera, like one of the cameras, like dead on, and had an uninterrupted like 10 seconds of silence, and then just like coughed on himself?
That's politics.
And then they were like,
baby.
and then they said,
President Biden, would you like to answer the question? And he went, Martha.
He said no.
Yeah, no, but like that, I think that is the pinpoint. What am I talking about? Cut all of this. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. Biden looks like a potato on stage. He, horrible debate. People are finally waking up to that thing of like, maybe something is actually wrong. And that even though people have been like, yeah, something is wrong this entire fucking time. But then like Trump has a miracle shot of like assassination attempt that completely just go like everything goes wrong, including the assassination, So he like twitches his head at the last minute and lives. And now his base is emboldened in the strongest way possible. Like I said, it really is that feeling of if we were talking like in these sort of subtle idea mechanics, I guess it's like all of the charisma, all of the goodwill, all of the happy thoughts that funnel the pixie dust that holds up American politics, like just drains out of Biden immediately. And he loses power and Trump gets like the big boost. So the only thing that could possibly happen is like Biden has to drop out and somebody has to come up. And it's in a weird way, it's almost like Harris gets to funnel like all of like that negative balance that Biden went into feeds into this meteoric rise of like somebody who was very likely going to be remembered as the vice president nobody who did very little with her career afterwards.
Right.
Now she's got an actual shot at the presidency, and there's people banging drums for her. There are people that are absolutely psyched for her.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like the wildness of like how crazy everything got and how good Trump was looking right after he got assassinated was completely fucking destroyed by them saying, okay, fine, you can have President Kamala Harris.
And this is what I'm talking about in this, like, there is something on a very subtle level that goes into the magic that is politics, the magic that is, and this will make it sound like a negative, but it's not necessarily, groups exist. So groups exist. So group think exists, but it's the magic of the crowds, of the audience, I guess, that empowers the ability of the group to empower an individual. And you can be like, well, that's not necessarily a good thing, but it definitely happens, whether it's a Taylor Swift concert, whether it's a presidential speech, whether it's a silly podcast, honestly, it's like you get people listening and then they all kind of put a certain weight on you in a psychological or an energetic, whatever, like energetic as like a BS term for like, like the mana, the thing that makes them the atoms of magic, I suppose. But you put this power on individuals that elevates them. And it's interesting to see how those lines move, if that makes sense,
Yeah, honestly, because you brought it to music, now I'm sort of thinking about the general shifting malaise of like pop stardom and the power that it brings with it. And specifically because of the Kendrick Drake beef.
Oh, now, and those are good examples because those are two people that like Kendrick and Drake, although also like Biden, it's like Joe Biden is he lost bad in the end, but he's going to have the best healthcare. He's going to have protection for his entire life. He's going to have people lining up to lick his butt and tell him what a fantastic, you're the best president we ever had. Yeah. You gave it your all for this country and you did it bad. And we love you, Mr. Biden. And he's going to be like, Martha. And then he's going to say something about the Rhatboi and then like wander off down the stairs, but he's still going to he lost at the top of the game. And that's like the Drake and Kendrick thing where it's like Drake got made to look like a fucking clown, but he's still insanely influential. He's got tons and tons of hits. He's still rich as all get out. So it's like, yeah, you lost, but you didn't, you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
This turns into an interesting like psychology, magic bullshit kind of talk rather than just talking about election. But like contrast to like what happens on, say, the internet, like when internet personalities had these huge meteoric rises, or like pop stars where you talk like, Iggy Azalea, that will use her. You can have these big you know, I can't make the whistling noise, but like the, you know, rising, like, thank you. And then boom, you know, huge explosion, everything's great. And then you stop because you haven't been able to insulate, you haven't been able to accrue enough of this and solidify it into something substantial. All you had was like fervor and goodwill. All you had like the magic buzzing around you like crazy, but you weren't able to solidify it into anything that could withstand a hammer blow.
You weren't able to capture it and integrate it back into yourself and into your collective identity, right?
That's a
good metaphor here with like the psychedelic experience or like the mystical experience or something too, I suppose. And, you know, again, maybe this is just mixing your metaphors. And, you know, I rewatched that Chris Hyatt interview where he talks about you have to be very careful with people like Tim Leary because he can mix his metaphors and his facts. But
the problem with that quote is Hyatt is telling on himself. He's telling you what he's doing.
Oh, I agreed entirely. But we'll go way off track if we get in there.
Listener, go find that one Christopher Hyatt interview. If you haven't heard it, it's like you'll search Christopher Hyatt and it'll pop up. If you already know Christopher Hyatt, you know the one we're talking about. Go listen to that again.
If you're curious about which one it is, it's the one where his head looks like it's really big.
His head looks all weird and lumpy in the thumbnail.
But at any rate, it is this sort of coming into contact with a sort of collective force, and then whether or not you can bring that force into your own purview and set it under your own will, right?
Otherwise that's the difference between it's the difference between a missile and like a space shuttle. You know, they're both using rocket fuel, but one of them is going to explode and only goes in one direction. The other one is theoretically going to be able to come back.
Oh, that's much better than I would have said. I would have said a missile and a 1974 Pontiac.
Well, you've got to be really careful with people who can mix metaphors. Because you know why?
If you say something about the fucking Rhatboi.
Moving on.
Speaking of Miss Taylor Swift, we also have a news item about her. There was an attempted, what was it, a bombing, or was it were they trying to assassinate her?
Wow.
Was it just a terrorist attack?
It was like a terror attack on her.
She got her ear got clipped, is what I heard.
Shit. She fell down some stairs.
I think she fell down some stairs when she got on a phone.
Oh man. Oh. She like broke a neck. No, it was there was some people conspiring. They were going to do like a mass attack. I think there was a bombing. I think there was also something about like they had machetes, like they were going to hack people up, which is fucking brutal.
That is not
like I'm only laughing because of the absurdity of like you were going to do what? Like you were going to just walk into a crowd of people and start going chop, 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 chop.
There's lots of videos
European terrorism's
online.
A lot of that, you know. Because, I mean, think about it, even just violent crime. Even violent crime in general has turned a lot into like people with knives fucking people up.
I remember that dipshit incel, whatever the fuck, that like his plan. Not you. Shut up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
You are a dirty little fuck machine, and like for you to say you're an incel is it's not even a good joke.
I'm a little rat boy, dude. Okay, please continue.
What am I just oh god. No more drinking on the podcast. Hold on.
We haven't had a big let's get drunk and do the podcast episode in a while. But the problem is we did the fucking Five Below episode last week. We should have done this then.
Yeah. No. Because there's actually good. I swear there's good content here. There's something you can carve up. There was the dumb shit incel that had his plan involved like, I'm just going to get a truck and run over a bunch of people. And I think it was like somebody threw like a fucking drink on his windshield or something like that. He hit some people, but like a drink splattered on his windshield. And then he just like, I had to like pull over and stop, you know, that sort of
like
thing.
that's the thing that made him quit, which is insane.
Like literally. Yeah. Oh man. And he's very matter of fact and very calm, just sort of explaining what his plan was in the interrogation. Cause he knows he's boned. He's not getting out of it. He's like, oh, I just, the drink was on there. And the point being, like, there are stupid fucking idiots that want to inflict pain on people, and they're not mentally equipped to figure out how to do it very well. Which is also probably why these idiots got fucking caught before they actually did anything.
That's so crazy and bad, though.
But
weren't they ISIS relevant in some way?
They're always
like
ISIS
I know that
relevant,
doesn't really. I know it doesn't mean anything really because it's not like
they were Andrew Dices. Yeah,
they were clayed up, bro.
They were clay pilled.
I was over here at the Taylor Swift concert. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. Ow!
Yeah, it was two yahoos that were plotting an attack, and that's really all it came down to. They got caught before it happened, and the event got canceled, and
sucks.
It sucks, but she's not letting it stop her, and
and also that's good that it didn't happen. So
one less Taylor Swift concert, though, is actually, I think, better for everyone. People can be with their families.
Dice, you're still here.
Then these guys were the classic, like, dumb kids that were, your brain hasn't finished cooking, I guess. You need 5 more minutes in the microwave. So the idea of doing stuff like this makes sense in some completely batshit crazy way because you're easily radicalized and dumb. I think I said that thing about, like, when you're, you're 16, you're radical, like, let's burn this whole shit down. And then, like, by the time you're 20, yeah, everyone's wrong. Let's just, like, shoot everybody and make things better. Like, that's going to work. And then by the time you're 30, you're just like, man, I just want healthcare.
Yeah, you're like, dude, my shoes have been awful lately. I got these crazy things on my feet. I need to go to a doctor.
I would like to afford, like, my teeth to not hurt all the time.
Yeah. And from the looks of it, it's like 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 15-year-old who wasn't arrested. Like, these were literally children, which makes sense.
Man.
It's probably why they cared.
It's probably why they got caught.
Yeah.
That's brutal, though.
Yeah. Well, they're fucked for life. They're going to be in prison until they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's like, I'm just glad that
but then there's a 40-year-old, 16-year-old mentality person walking around.
No, there's like an institutionalized schmuck who doesn't know how to live outside of the.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I'm just glad that nothing came of it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm also really glad that Dot Darling came on to let everybody know, like, why you needed to be so concerned about this, and that it was an attack on the people, the folks,
Yeah, them.
Can't say it out loud or nothing. Like,
wait, what did I just, like, co-sign on? What do you mean?
Dot Darling is she likes Atlantis. How about, does that answer the question for you?
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, we don't got to bring up those people all the fucking time, all the time.
We'll cut this. It's fine.
We never do.
I'm leaving it in. That's funny.
It's hilarious.
Okay, moving on. Did you hear about how a woman died and then Disney told her husband, who was trying to sue them, like, you can't sue us because you had a Disney Plus subscription.
Sorry, bud. You give us money on a regular basis, so basically we own you. So fuck off.
And y'all thought the Rhatboi was evil.
Well, I know the Rhatboi is evil.
Well, there's a different rat that is really evil.
Yeah, there's, like, isn't it weird? There's 3 rats in this world that are so evil that they have their own, like, identities. There's Rhatboi, there's Mickey, there's fucking Chuck. Like there's it's crazy.
Chuck,
you eat education cheese. Come on now.
Education cheese. My bad. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like well, here's the problem: is that by a huge margin, the evilest rat out there is the House of Mouse. Like the Disney conglomerate, whatever you'd want to call it, the Disney dynasty. I don't know what to call it. The Empire, the Disney Empire. Is that good? Disney Empire,
the monarchy,
the Disney egregor.
The Ministry of Disney.
Man, you want to talk about the idea of, like, Mickey Mouse doesn't have... Hey, we're talking about Bukowski again. Shit. Everything's connected. But
everything
like
is shit.
But the Mickey Mouse doesn't have a fucking soul. If you want to talk about, like, ideas of things that are on a subtle level maybe bad for your health or bad for, like, your spiritual well-being, the idea that there's so many people that are, like, enamored on a nostalgia level, on an entertainment level, on a level of the aesthetics of the characters, of the being enamored with these cartoons and all of these things. And it's attached to this IP guardsman that would bulldoze a daycare if they airbrush Goofy on the side of it, you know?
Right,
100%.
exactly.
A company that is literally.
Isn't it interesting that like the most evil company of, well, okay, maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic there, but
they're up there.
If we're talking
They're
about
up
from
there.
the sake of culture and art, like alone, right? One of the evilest fucking companies is more publicly derided for making art that has like undertones of social and political commentary than they are for the horrible fucking
undertones. They had fucking
they put a lesbian character in this movie. I'm sick. I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. But like
Donald Duck
then
being a Nazi.
Yeah. Then
Right.
they chop off the head of a baby because we didn't get our dollar out of that onesie you were wearing or something. I don't know. It's like it's just and
just
seriously,
destroying
right?
any attempt at having like
Literally
normal
fucked the
fucking
copyright system
laws.
of them. Like, yeah, it's insane.
Just
And then the
bulldozed it to the point that like works that should have been
Star
fucking
Wars,
gone
Marvel,
forever ago.
they just keep clawing at everything, assimilating everything into the fucking rat, you know,
just to make money, like
just
not
to
even
make
like
a buck. And then when you think it can't get any weirder or any worse, they're literally trying to get out of a wrongful death suit where somebody died of an allergic reaction due to consuming food at a restaurant when they said, no, it's safe, it's fine. And they're trying to get out of this by saying, no, this should go to arbitration because this person signed a terms of service thing that nobody fucking reads and clicked the thing and said, no, you
see, you're already being too nice by saying they signed a terms of service. They clicked a button when they bought a fucking thing so they can watch Hamilton or whatever.
Here's my question. All right. Here's what I think about like when it really comes down to it. These lawyers, right? The lawyers that are making this case in court. Do you have a fucking soul? Like I get Mickey Mouse doesn't have a fucking soul, but do you? And these people probably, they say, yeah. How do you sleep at night? Oh, in a really comfortable bed next to my trophy wife because I have all this money in the world. And it's like, you're an actual devil. You think
when we make the comment, when we say shit like these people are literal demons, this is the type of person we're talking about. The person that can do this sort of thing. And here's the thing, right? They probably, as far as what they think of themselves, they probably think that they're a very decent human being. They probably give very generously to like liberal causes or something like that. Because I know the type culturally that would be in the position
and they'll
to
tell
work
you,
for
and
the Disney
they'll
company.
look you in the face and say, "Oh, well, yeah, we know this political argument is going to get thrown out of court and whatever." It's like it's not. Oh, don't worry, it's not actually going to go through. And it's like, yeah, but you had to get up there in front of a judge and try to make this argument, or you had to at least at bare minimum you had to sit there and type this out and say this, and you can look yourself in the mirror and not think you're an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting.
Well, on one level, because
world.
here I'm a chaos magician, so like
so now we go the other side. That's a really great fucking argument to be able to pull on somebody, honestly, right?
Well, I was going to say,
could you imagine like getting out of something on that level, just being like.
No,
fucking.
Well,
you know what we should do? That we obviously know they're going to buy the Disney Plus, so let's just make sure we can slip a little thing in here that says "fuck ya" if you die accidentally.
That is
you chose to watch
move.
The Simpsons.
I saw.
Sorry, you wanted to watch The Simpsons. Now you can't sue us.
I saw a thing that was like he didn't even actually buy it. He just got like a free trial.
Yeah, there's no money transaction at all.
Worse.
He just signed up to get sued.
What I was actually
to
going
like
to say
lose a
is
lawsuit.
that. I was actually going to say that as like a chaos magician, there is a certain level of this idea of like, man, imagine being that liberated of concepts like shame.
That would be pretty interesting.
Or ideas of your morality. Imagine your moral compass is so completely gone that you can make that argument and not even care, like not give a shit, you know?
Well,
there's something to be, that's an amazing ability of like the audacity the absurdity, the shamelessness, the brazenness.
My argument would be is that more than likely this person or the persons responsible for this are so compartmentalized and disconnected and alienated from what they actually do that it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't register. It's just like a thing.
I don't think they're a liberated individual. I don't think anyone that's a lawyer would be a liberated individual.
Some of that is the cog mechanism that is like becoming part of the system in that way. You get rushed with the mindset. It's cultism at its core, where like something is you just get inched farther and farther along, and you usually have some way to, like you said, compartmentalize or retract it.
Well, and that's actually to co-host point and your point here. That's kind of what I was about to say is like being a lawyer, hearing that argument, it's probably not crazy to you. It doesn't read crazy in the same way that it reads for us. Maybe if you're self-aware, you can be like, oh yeah, that's going to be a fucked up headline for people. But just the idea of it is probably not that crazy. It might be a little out there. It might be a little unorthodox, but
a person died. If that doesn't, like, that's the thing. If that doesn't make bells go off in your head, it's because you're so desensitized to the human experience and the realities of the world. Like if you're caught up in that legalese of like, oh, well, like, no, you agreed to arbitration. So like, as a legal argument, this makes perfect sense. Shut up. Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah.
You know?
Touch grass and get behind me.
Exactly. Yeah. It is kind of, it's like, it is a bit of touch grass. Like,
well, when you're in echo chambers, that's all you hear in one way. And that's kind of I think in
the legal system is an echo chamber because everyone thinks the same because they've all been their literal job is to all sit here and agree to this set of rules and then see how much you can twist them one way or the other.
Yeah. What a fucked up game, huh?
Oh,
if you guys want a really fun game, you could play Parcheesi with us on Sundays where we're live on twitch.tv.
Oh, we're going to do, you know what?
Are we going to play Parcheesi on Twitch?
Man.
Yep, surprise, guys.
we need a Twitch channel just so we can like live stream silly stuff.
We do have a Twitch channel.
Oh, we do? Is it twitch.rhatboi?
It is now.
I'm deleting the Twitch channel.
I'm making a new one. Oh. Twitch.com/
Okay.
/
Do we want to talk about
RATBOI?
BOI.
Boy.
Do we want to talk about the Olympics?
I would love to do an Olympic roundup because this, from start to finish, this Olympics has
real
been
quick
insane.
question. Are we allowed to say Olympics now? I can't remember how this works copyright-wise.
Is Disney in the room?
Actually, like that's a legitimately good question.
Man, I can't believe Disney bought the Olympics show. That's why they're woke.
That's why they're woke.
You know, actually, if you sit motionless for just a few minutes and only look through the corners of your eyes, you'll be able to tell if Disney is in the room.
I don't like that. Made me spooked for some reason. That actually gave me like goosebumps.
It's like looking around now.
Stop! Disney's around here,
and then all of a sudden you just go,
rat. I'm always here. I'm always here.
It's me, the Rhatboi.
You sounded auto-tuned.
No. Oh boy, building up the
I'm
Rhatboi.
Rhatboi.
Steamboat Rhatboi.
Oh, that's good. That's public domain.
Yeah,
it's me. I'm Steamboat Rhatboi. I'm here to save the day by driving this steamboat at full bore. Well, I don't know what I'm talking. Like, he's gonna like drive it into the Magic
Drive it into
Kingdom?
a church.
Drive it in my fucking
Oh,
way worse. That's way worse. Oh no. No, but like for real, this Olympics has been fucking insane compared to like.
Did you see the dude with his schlong? I mean, I don't know why we'd start there, but we could talk about that if you want.
The dude had a big old schlong. Did you see it? Did you see
you see that?
Somebody had a big dick.
Because this Olympics was actually dominated by women, which is
true.
You know, like,
and it was
just like good. Me, man, just like me.
Hey,
I'm
nailed it.
I'm Tommy Dice. I don't know. I don't get I don't have a joke here.
I'm
editing all this out.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
No, but no, this is terms of like who got coverage and who got put out there and did stuff. It's like there was a lot of female
absolutely
faces, whatever. I guess a lot of female faces put out.
They're called people. Come on now.
Wait.
Come on now, co-host.
Women are people.
Well, you called them
mayonnaise of
females
people.
before, so everyone was sitting here going like,
So
one of
hypothetically,
those podcasts.
Oh,
hypothetically, they
Hypothetically.
are.
She punches another woman in the face as hard as she can. And the woman falls to her knees and says, I've never been hit this hard in my entire life. If I then implied that the one who hit her was a man, would that get a lot of replies on Twitter?
Well, we all know the answer to that, actually.
Yeah, we're in the future
Um,
now, so
First off, like there's very easy things to get in front of. Like,
like a bus,
Like a Mons fist.
yeah.
a mon's fist across your face.
Amon Khalif, everybody that was like, "Oh, Amon Khalif is a man," so that you're a piece of shit. And
That was
you
super
suck.
fucked up because
it's insane.
she already got all the
She's-
stuff.
She's competed like 100 billion times already. Like lost a couple
Could
times.
you imagine?
And
Could
she's-
you imagine the
It's insane that you're mad. I'm sorry. It's insane that we got mad because she started winning.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
It's
hold
like if
on
you-
now.
When
A woman winning something?
Did you all think? Yeah. It's like even when a woman is going against another woman, you got to be mad that the woman won. Like what? Who'd you think was going to win? I don't. What gets me too, honestly, is that like the woman that she was going against, who already kind of like she did get out in front of it a little bit and say like,
punch.
I think,
Hey.
yeah. Well, I do remember, like, I do remember seeing something that was like, I fucked up. I should not have, I shouldn't have fed the fire like this. Cause now she's been subjected to a lot of harassment and just awful people saying shitty things about her, calling her a man and saying this, that, and the other.
That's horrendous.
And just people broadcasting like,
like photo reviews.
How based and fucking red pilled they are. All this is about is it's performative. It's people showing that I have the right opinion about fucking sports.
well,
It's
just
fucking
bothers,
stupid.
What bothers me is that this woman has like, I guess for it's probably not even the right term, but sort of like an intersex condition. She's a woman and she has a Y chromosome, that sort of thing. But that's not good enough. It's this game. It's this weird moving of the goalposts, changing the game. It's like every chance you can find to latch on somebody that like might sorta, kinda, maybe can be made to fit the definition of like a trans person or like this isn't a woman. And you want to be shitty to them and you want to treat them like they're a subhuman piece of garbage. And you do it under the auspices of, oh, we're protecting women. Oh, we're doing the moral thing of letting, of keeping these dangerous monsters or predators, whatever shitty dehumanizing word you want to use.
Yeah, and even when it's not explicitly like, oh, these people are human garbage and monsters, it's like, oh, it's because we care about women and we want them to have fair competition and they deserve to not have to compete against men because men are better or some shit.
I've gotten to immerse myself in the sauce of like internet fucking hate. And there's nobody that's talking like that. There's nobody like, oh, this wasn't a fair condition. It's, oh no, Khalif is a man with a big old penis and they need to be put to death and they should never have been allowed to compete in this because they're a fucking garbage monster person and
They're
they
just
should be
beating
I'm
down
not-
women. Yeah, it's so
Like,
fucking stupid.
I understand there's a huge contingent of those fucking insane people, and most of them are the kind of people that when you read their tweets in real life, they clam up and say that no, you don't understand. It's just like the internet.
Yeah.
I just
But
like to say things with
I know
anonymity
there-
because it doesn't affect
Yeah.
me on a daily basis.
But I've
on.
seen people making the argument over and over again, like it's not because we hate trans people, it's not because, but we need a space for women to be able to compete and stuff. And I think that argument is, for the most part, an excuse.
Yeah, it's cloaking your opinions and the royal finery of the moral high ground, and you're full of shit.
Yeah, that's
Fuck you.
I can't really
Fuck 'em.
say anything.
Why is it
else.
whenever
Yeah.
I get drunk, I start going like trans rights die bigot?
I mean, because your real feelings come out. It's funny how diplomatic we usually try to be on this show, actually. And then every now and again, we get moments where it's like, hey, trans rights, Jimmy Carter can rest in piss. And does anyone fucking care about Kamala Harris? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we have these weird moments where we can't keep the veil of trying to be open-minded. And we just say things that I don't think are really that controversial, but I'm sure somebody is going to be mad about it.
It's only when we're in that little shitty Overton window playground of like, oh, you couldn't say that on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News, because that's an honest opinion that isn't veiled through 16 filters of bullshit and doublespeak, you know?
I would like.
Yeah.
I know there's a few options out there now currently with news that there's I think it's called Grounded, where they compile all of the different resources, like who's saying what where, and saying like what this news relates or leans to, right? Not an ad, not a sponsor.
Yeah, I remember that.
But
shit.
like, I hope in the near future that becomes not only like more commonplace, but way more refined, where we just have like something that either processes or a company that like puts all that shit together and goes, yeah, so there's like a good 90% truth that this is what's actually happening based off of all these reports.
It won't happen because the internet has made it so that people that want to hear their opinion, and then I love when I say stuff like this, because like you could easily just turn that and throw this back on me, but it's like, we live in a world where we live in a society, bottom text. No, but if you have an idea or you have an opinion or you have a view of the world, you're going to find all of the information and you're going to find every link and news article and snarky tweet that is going to reinforce what you think. So there you go.
There's all answers. The internet is a repository of all answers. Yeah.
You almost want to give up on the idea of like, you're not going to convince anybody, you know, the best we can do. And I even the best.
I would go one
like
further. I think the fact that you can't convince anybody is the main point of like that's what we do in real life too. Like, so don't do it differently on the internet, everybody. There's no reason to fucking. I don't give a shit about your
That's
views.
the problem. No. Because on a personal level, if I were talking to you as an individual, I could meet you somewhere in the middle, and not like I'm saying like, oh, we're going to compromise, but like I can meet you where you're at, and I can try to talk to you. It's like when I talk about, I'm
not just immediately selling you something. Kind of
when you talk to conservatives and you start like, and they talk about how much they hate socialism and this, that, and the other, and then you describe the ideas of like providing for people's basic needs and making sure that there are social safety nets for people. And I understand that it's like, oh, that's not like real socialism, but like the things that they would describe as socialism. And then you describe it to them without the words, without the scary buzzwords.
And they're like, that's exactly what I'm for.
Yeah.
They nod their heads, they agree with you, and say, and you know who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
The damn Democrats.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's
which
that
I mean
sort
is
of thing.
true, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the Dems don't want it, but also, but that's the thing is it's like on a personal level, if I can talk to somebody as an individual, maybe I can at least. And the problem is I have to be open to the possibility that they might tell me something that I wasn't aware of, and I might change my views or I might learn something. Yeah. But that's human interactions.
I would point towards the possibility, or not the possibility though, but that you have a more adjusted idea though of how serious you're going to take this person's words.
Right. That's actually what I was going to say, because I'm just thinking about like office culture in particular. There's like this sheen of when you get into something that could be a controversial or like a weird area when you're working like an office job, or I mean any job really, but in particular office culture, because office culture is a lot of people being forced to interact with each other so they don't have to work. But there's like this sheen of like when you get into those areas, you go into full inauthenticity mode. Where your real opinions and their real opinions will not come out to play, because you can't have a conversation like that.
Masking as a
HR dictates that you don't do that.
You can't say, well, you're a fucking bigot. Yeah.
You go, whoa, I don't know. No, I don't just not agree with that. I think you're this.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this idea of meeting someone halfway, like you can't do that 90% of the time, because the situations where you meet people are not situations where authentic human interaction happens. The only time you get those is when you have friends, or when you've been working or been around people long enough that you have a sort of genuine relation with them, even if it's just built on proximity.
There's almost this feeling of like there's a genuine despair or helplessness that can come on, where it's like, man, people are going to develop the beliefs that they develop, and the best you can do is maybe you can say something that might get picked up by somebody later as they're in that stages of forming their opinions. There's very little you can do tackling people head on to try to change their ideas about things, because we've already shown that when you show people facts, like, hey, facts, I guess, as like, and the idea of like, here are studies and documentation that show certain things that are demonstrable. And they're like, well, I don't believe, I don't know. I don't care about that. I don't care if you did a study, you know?
And also,
right. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. We're just,
well, like, you want a real easy one, right? Like if you're in the South, for instance, right? Ask somebody what they think the percentage of African Americans in the US is. They will give you a number that is way higher than you think.
75%.
Whoa, really?
Well, it's because they go by they go by the neighborhood they live in, and they think the rest of the world's like that.
That's wild. That's hilarious.
No. But
I mean, it's honest, dude.
No, but it is one of those things where it's like, when you hear, it's like, yeah, it's 15%. Nationally, it's like 15%. And then it's like, well, the area I live in, it's like 50-50. And then you think about how that has skewed your entire worldview, that sort of thing. Where it's like, shit, I thought we were like even. It's like, we are not even close.
You're telling me that if I go to Detroit, there will be more black people?
What?
I do not believe you.
No way. I gotta see this.
Okay. I gotta see this. I gotta see what all this is about.
We have completely derailed the idea of the Olympic roundup, but like,
oh yeah, well, we were talking about the Olympics, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, just banging tables, busting my knee, smacking the microphone around, calling.
Those are none of those things are Olympic sports. Co-host.
Are you sure?
But you know what is an Olympic sport?
They should
or
be.
Was?
What?
Breaking.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Up with my parents, or
that's what I was about to say, because it truly, this Olympics was a time of representation for women that is
even
unparalleled.
The bad ones?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's because it has the controversial, it has the praise, and it has the, oh my God, please never do this again. The thing you did, that was very bad.
Shout outs
never again.
No. Shout outs to the homie Ray Gun.
Yeah, honestly, the shit she's gotten for it though is way unracial. It's not cool. It's not. It's very Ohio. Did I do that right?
It's what now? It's what now?
Did I say that right, guys? Am I cool now? Rhatboi, help me out. Is this cool?
No.
Anyway. But yeah, no, she doesn't need all the hate in the world. That's fucked up. How awful. Like, she can't return to Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know on what precedent. That was a headline I found a while ago. But yeah, and I don't know if that's just her choice or she actually can't go to Australia.
Could you imagine going to the Olympics and then you do so bad they renounce your citizenship?
Damn.
You're you're a New Zealander now.
This is the only time in the entire world's history where an entire nation goes, you need to kind of kill yourself.
You have let down the motherland.
I'm sorry, but it's bad. It's real bad.
It's real bad.
It's really bad.
All I've been thinking the entire time is like, how bad can it really be just to dance? Like,
it's not even really that bad. She's just really not good.
I'm really on the fence of like, because she got a 0. That's like the real controversy. She got a big old goose egg from the judges.
That wasn't a proper actual score. What that was a fuck you.
Yeah.
What
I really want to know, what I don't understand is what, and I don't mean this like, oh, what do you mean it's a 0? Like, I really do want to know, what do you look for? Like, what makes good breakdancing? Because every time I look at breakdancing,
that's a good point. I don't know the specifications.
Like, unless you're spinning on the top of your head, and I'm just like, wow, how the hell did you do that? I don't know I don't know the metrics you're going with. How do you get a 0? Like, I understand that what she did was goofy and like weird.
Well, that's what I'm saying as well. Usually, the way that most Olympic scores work, like a 10 is impossible to get, almost. And then so it's very like variable, or I'd say it like the slope of actual like point getting is super like always going to be never the lowest or the highest. They're going to give you at least a 4 or a 3 or something. A 0 is like, what the fuck?
Well, it also tends to turn into this weird like scope scale sort of thing where like most professional athletes will get a score of like between this and this, right?
Right.
Even though the scale that you could possibly err on is like from, like 0 to 10, most of the people performing in this as a regular
are going to get at least a 5.
Well, because they're all
it'll be like
athletes.
Right, yeah, you're an Olympic athlete. By the virtue of you being here, the likelihood that you're going to get a 3 is pretty low. Like, you would have to fuck up.
Yeah.
Like Ray Gun did, I guess. Even though that's sort of the problem, I think, is because it was for breaking. And most of us acknowledge that we don't even understand how, like, fucking, like, freestyle skating works.
Right.
So how the hell are we going to understand, like, breakdance scoring?
She's already getting accusations that like she rigged her way into it or something like that, or that she was
Into
never
the
supposed
Olympics?
to be there.
No. I saw a whole video about her fucking being a teacher of dance at like some school.
Oh, that explains it.
No, she's 100% like authentic. I'm really positive. I think it's just like,
Who defines like that's why I want to know, what are your rules? What metrics are you looking for? Because if it's just like if it's
vibe?
judges that are, if judges are just like going by the vibe, then it's like, I guess, yeah, you can get a 0 pretty easy because like you flopped around like a fish for a solid 30 seconds.
this is where the camera pans over to the right real fast, and you see who the judges are, and it's like Clay Aiken and fucking like it's like American Idol folks and shit. Like what's her name?
It's the fucking what's that show where they all have like the buzzer that they hit when they think you suck?
Dancing with the Stars. No. Taskmaster. No. Fuck.
America's Got Talent?
America's Got Talent. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
You're right.
I don't watch game shows.
But actually, what sucks is that this is an example of like this. These are two women who have just gotten like an absurd amount of hate on the internet because of like one of them for just existing and like being.
Well, no, both of them kind of just for existing, really. It's like nothing says that you have to be like, ha ha, you fucking suck because you got a terrible score.
Yeah.
People decided that they wanted to be like, haha, she sucks. Let's make fun of her.
It could just be like, yeah, I guess my thing is globally, why did everyone do that when they could have just been like, aha, she sucks. She got a terrible score. And then like, just leave it at that. Because the things of like, where like, why'd you ruin this woman's entire life? If
Why can she not go
serious?
back to her country?
Yeah.
Because you guys have been cyberbullying her so bad.
That's crazy.
This is the opposite of like the Tyler the Creator, like how is cyberbullying even real? Like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the, like,
This is
bro,
how real it is.
Walk away. Close
Like,
your eyes.
That's what I'm telling all of the people that care about the woman breakdancing badly. Like, close your eyes, walk away. You don't have to care about this.
You're so right.
It's that problem of like, sometimes you want to laugh at things for slightly mean reasons, but it's also like, there's a line of like, you know, yeah, she did a silly dance and it's funny and you can laugh about it. You can make jokes about it, but then it's like, there was some asshole that was like sending her messages saying, you should fucking kill yourself, bitch.
Oh,
Fuck
not
you.
even that. I'm sure
What do you
it's
know
like,
about, you should have never been a dancer.
wait.
I wish you would have gotten Black Swan before the competition.
Okay, if I'm remembering this correctly,
why don't women like nice guys like me?
check this out. Jesus Christ. Check this out. Her dude, the person that was like with her was her like
It was
he
like
was
her coach.
her coach, yeah.
Her coach and her husband.
Dude,
Like they're
can you imagine doing that and having to like what do you do as the dude? Like to like you got to be supportive, but then you go, the entire world is saying this thing.
Man, I really let you down, huh? I'm a
should
pretty shitty
not-
coach, baby.
if you're
He just goes, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid.
you should not be married to your coach.
Like, baby, you should have known that I said I was just kidding when I gave you all that coaching
Baby, I didn't know we were going to the Olympics. I was just telling you I like gymnastics.
Your coach should not be your husband or anybody that you're romantically involved with. Your coach should be like a squat little old man who like calls
You
you,
want
a
Danny
mean
DeVito?
spirit, who calls you a mean-spirited nickname every opportunity and says things like you are going to shit lightning and crap. You're going to eat lightning and crap thunder.
You are now my
And
new
he
GTR project. I will tune
It's
you
just
up
you're
and spit you out.
You need someone that will climb onto your back and shout things at you as you try to run an obstacle course of some kind.
I mean, like, just out my fetish, I guess, while we're here, but
Yeah. Your coach, your coach should look like. No, I'm agreeing with you. You're absolutely correct, and I hope you get help.
I was trying to remember the name of the guy from Ranma.
how about GoFum?
What's
Look,
GoFum?
Go fuck 'em up, you silly goose. Say,
I'm Dice.
If your coach doesn't look like after a long training session, he's drunk and is going to need to like stay on your couch for the night, you need a different coach.
If your coach
That's
doesn't
simple.
look like a regular coach that was also a shrinky dink, then he's not a good coach.
jeez.
These are all the same qualifications for a spiritual guru.
Do we have anything else about the Olympics?
Oh, there's loads.
Do we want to talk about the Turkish guy?
Oh, Turkish guy was pretty cool. I like the fact that, okay, so the way that the internet portrayed him, this is another perfect example of like media gone awry and like exploding what this guy's all about. Super cool dude. Is Yosef, right? I believe his name is.
Yes. Turkish shooter Olympics. What was his fucking name?
Turkish shooter
Yosef.
Olympics. Now you're on a list.
Yusuf Dikek.
Yusuf Dikek. So Yosef, he's a really cool dude, but they made him out to be this fucking badass, and he is like he's got super accuracy, but it's with airsoft, and it's with like, and they're using like these eye protector things, and I don't know. I'm not talking it down, but it's like a different thing entirely.
But that's the point.
No.
Is he
No,
didn't use it.
no. Guys, we're not allowed to like Yusuf.
He's an actual serial killer or what?
He's a cop.
Oh no. He's unleashed so much ammo into so many people he shouldn't have.
No, but he's like a Turkish cop. So
Even my point times 3.
Yeah, like times 40.
American cops are pretty rough, but I'm pretty sure Turkish cops will just fuck you up because
I feel like a Turkish I feel like a Turkish cop is a different kind of fucked up, where it's like he's definitely gonna ask you for money so that he doesn't arrest you.
But it's up front. He's like, "All right, buddy, let's."
But he's just gonna say it. Like, but he's not shooting you for no reason either. He's not like
shooting because you didn't give him money.
He's just gonna be like, he's like, yeah, he's shooting you because you didn't fork it over. Actually, but I mean, that is like he's like the one dude that's really stuck out in the Olympics too, where it's like
well, did you see the teched out lady from I think it was South Korea on the airsoft guns?
But that's another example of like the rabid personality that's like going around. It's like, oh man, iconic image.
Right.
It's somebody with a gun. They look badass as
fucking
fuck.
Sick.
Let me draw this as like the style of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and then put it online and everyone's gonna fucking love it.
It's so fucking. Is that real? What you just said, or did you just like?
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you later. I made a meme that used Yosef and another guy, and it was like I put like put one of my musings under it, and it did really well. And I was like, shit, why? But like people just love the Olympics. It's really got people into a fervor.
That's awesome. It is. It's a fun time. You know what? You're right. We are in the right universe.
But then like there's the thing. Oh my God! What the hell?
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. Can
It's
we
okay.
take a second?
Yeah,
My
of
dog.
course.
The most popular recurring character on CNN is my hound dog.
Hey there, pretty lady.
You got anything else about the Olympics?
So, did we talk about the schlong that got hit by the? I'm assuming.
Okay, I thought you were just joking about the schlong. Is that a real thing?
What? Do you think it's not real? Yeah, that really happened.
Wait, so what happened?
Guy that was doing pole vaulting was breaking the record of some pole vaulting, and I think he still technically did break it, but during his breaking of it, his big old banana hammock with his big old fucking sweaty hog got clipped on the rail, and it's in slow-mo and it's wild.
Ouch. Like he was pole vaulting, like, and he went over the thing, and his fucking package got like clipped.
Yeah. Like he like.
Ouch.
Have you ever seen like a picture being hung?
Ow. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's fucking like, yeah. Anyone that likes really funny things, first off, thank you for watching us and or listening to us.
Heyo.
Heyo. And then also watch that. That's wild. That's iconic. In fact, he ate.
He ate what?
That fucking banana. That fucking his gagoom. You know what I'm saying? His big old pashag.
Oh, I just watched it.
It's wild, right?
That's painful looking.
I mean, like, what, just having it or like getting it hit?
Both.
Yes.
Both
of them.
Lightning round.
The two Italian athletes that won are biting the medal, and then the other winner who doesn't understand the custom sees them doing it, and then she bites down and she's like, that's a cute little moment. There's the opening and closing ceremonies that are entrenched in sort of Greek pagan imagery.
And then a lot of people here got mad.
And everybody freaks out because they kind of sort of looks like
the Last Supper.
Jesus-y stuff. And they're mad because it's like, oh, it's offensive. And it's like, it's not offensive. You just don't understand it. Like you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm saying anything fucking new. You already know, but it really is bizarre to watch the Christian backdrop of folks that just don't actually know what the fuck they're looking at.
It's like seeing, like, because when you hear the Super Bowl Illuminati shit, you just roll your eyes a little bit. When you saw it this time, you were like, oh, you're not putting those connections together because you're like super online. It's just because you haven't read more than like 2 books.
It's because you're easily whipped into a fervor about things that don't affect you in any.
It's because you're being controlled by Rhatboi.
And there we go. Perfect way to end the Olympics.
With me, the Rhatboi.
Oh shit!
Rhatboi always gets the gold,
and that's the cheese.
The cheese. Worst episode.
What'd you just say?
Do we
sorry,
have
senpai? Is that what you just said? What? Did you just say sorry, senpai? What?
No, I would never say anything that weeb. No, I just went worst episode ever.
Oh.
I can't
worst
stop.
Senpai ever.
Worst senpai.
Worst senpai ever.
Notice me, senpai.
No, Rhatboi, no. You pick a lane of demonicness.
Rhatboi-chan, it's me.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Hey, everybody,
Okay.
It's me, Rhatboi-chan.
Do we want to talk about the meth candy real quick?
Always.
You got any left?
Hey.
I mean, I'm fiending pretty hard. I mean, like, I'm so drunk, like, just mostly to get.
I don't
just
like
so
that
I'm
I
not
heard
paying
the
attention.
scratches. I heard your scratches through the microphone. Gross. Get out of here.
Y'all got any of
A
them
charity working with
candies
homeless
left?
people in a charity working with homeless people in Auckland, New Zealand, unknowingly distributed candies filled with potentially lethal dose of methamphetamine in its food parcels after the sweets were donated by a member of the public.
Wild.
This might be the first time that they were like, you got to be careful with the candies that you get. They might be drugs. Like, turned out to be real.
Because whenever there's stuff like that, there's just enough times that it actually happened that somebody can point and be like, see. And it's like, it's still an astronomically low risk.
It's wild, though.
But
that even
at the same
happened, though.
time, it only takes like one meth candy to probably
it makes one bad meth apple to ruin the whole apple bunch.
We talked about Hyatt earlier.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I've been rereading the Psychopath's Bible, and he's not. And I don't want to get off on a huge thing, but he's describing the idea of just letting things happen and destroy. You know, everything wants to get destroyed. You just got to let it destroy itself, and something new will come up. And it's just like this was somebody's accelerationist ideal.
Just let it all burn.
having-
Just let it happen.
We're having an accelerationist. I almost said Christmas. We're having
That's my
an
new Christmas
accelerationist
album.
Halloween. We're gonna give away all these meth candies.
We're just gonna speed up some flow, let some stuff happen, and see where the chips may lay.
Yeah, that's just insane, man. I just I don't have anything.
I don't
Sorry,
have
let me
anything
say-
either, dude.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. How did they figure out it was meth? Did they say if like somebody took one, or did they just say like, something was off
I am almost certain that someone must have taken one.
and they were just zooted?
Could you imagine? So, like, already the stigma is
8
candy with
families,
kids.
including at least one child.
Oh no!
Wait, only one child? I mean, good.
Stop eating.
I'm good, but like,
Stop being selfish. You keep eating your kids' candies.
nah.
The revolting taste meant most had immediately spat them out.
Yeah, because like
Oh.
meth got to taste like shit, right? I don't have any
I have no
experience.
clue.
You know what the crazy thing to me is it says the sweet had a high street value of 1,000 New Zealand whatever currency. They put a dollar sign, so maybe it's dollars. That's $608 apparently per candy.
Damn,
Not per candy.
Says per candy.
that's crazy
No.
as hell.
No, $600 for a candy.
Is meth
Made
that
of meth?
expensive?
It must be New
It
Zealand.
did say
How big is it?
it says that it was like
I'm just
it was up to
imagining like
300 times the level that someone would usually take.
oh, so it's like a highly concentrated amphetamine. Like, do you think like someone was gonna break that shit down and then cut it?
Yeah, maybe it was like a distiller
I
or
don't-
something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know enough about making meth and distributing meth.
But that's a fairly
to
common
say
thing with
what you were
drugs in
supposed to be
general.
doing it.
Like if you have something to figure out a way to like compartmentalize it enough to
Well,
To
it's like
sell it
you
at
go
larger quantities.
high potency so that you can hide it. You can hide it in the small a space as
Yes.
possible while you're smuggling it, and then you just cut it in with like with cocaine. It's it's like everything from aspirin to fucking like literal drywall powder. But like I don't know what you would cut into like amphetamines to stretch it. Is all. Just I
have
am
no
not
clue,
about
yeah.
it. Sorry.
Yeah,
But
because
that's like
as
the
far as I
idea
know
is
about meth heads, they tend to not have like $608 at any given time.
This segment
I
of
had
CMN is brought to you by. Oh
fucking
fuck!
Dare Foundation.
No, I fucked it up. I fucked up the what's the shit that they use? It's the red pills, the amphetamines.
Sudafed?
No, that's what it is.
It's Sudafed?
Sudafed, baby.
Oh.
This part, yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Is brought to you by Sudafed and ammonia.
and ammonia.
just ammonia.
This part of the CMN broadcast is brought to you by
Sudafed. Ammonia.
Sudafed and pneumonia.
And lie. We know what you're doing.
That's the name of the company, and that's the sub name. Sudafed. What was it?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what the actual.
There
like, I
is
knew
kind
it-
of like a chaotic, Discordian kind of appeal to the idea of just giving out a bunch of drugs and not like knowing that they're drugs.
Well, like
I
well,
wouldn't recommend
remember
doing
in-
it because I think it's crazy. But
In Illuminatus, they do that with like psychedelics and stuff. You know.
right,
But
yeah.
like, here's the problem: dosing somebody up with meth really isn't going to do a whole lot of good for them. Like, you even
Doesn't
if
do
you
good
were
for
one of those-
anybody. That's a loss of profit.
dosing them up
That's
with
a fucking,
psychedelics doesn't either. The
No,
CIA proved
about
that.
I was about to circle back to
Oh,
that, where it's
sorry.
like there are some people that do live with the idea that like, oh, if everybody just did acid, we would have a really different world, and everybody would wake up to the 5D consciousness, and it would just look like Alex Gray's Cosm every month. You know, we'd all be doing full moon rituals, and we'd be living with the Gaia spirit. And it's like, no, because there's a bunch of people that do psychedelics, and like, it doesn't do like it makes them worse people. They
Oh yeah,
become
no.
insufferable.
Sometimes it triggers things that are latent either in genetic code or just like part of their personality.
But arguably, like, you know, you can say what you want about meth,
you can say what you want
You
about
can-
meth. It's fine. You know.
you can say what you want about psychedelics. They aren't nearly as destructive as something like methamphetamine.
Oh yeah.
And it's just not.
Nor
it's just-
addictive,
it's just-
nor
yeah,
long.
as, not
like
as
effect
addictive,
lasting.
not as that's like one of those things, you can take a
And
whole,
typically you're not giving out 300 times of a dose,
Right.
regardless
In a
of how
candy
wild you want to
form
be
to
with the
children.
acid. Yeah.
I guess it was a child. Again, that part is kind of upsetting.
Well, it's good to know that like they probably, even the child probably like tastes it and it's like, this tastes like fucking dog shit. Blech.
Well, he's
And
like,
didn't
that's
take
meth.
Yeah.
That's meth right there.
Mom, why does it taste like your other boyfriend?
This tastes like pussy.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen that? Never mind. I'm not going off that derailment. That's the whitest kids you know sketch.
Could you just imagine them being like, ew, pineapple flavor, and spitting it out, and then like the parent just
Ew.
being like, gross, why would you waste that candy, and not knowing?
Oh no! A parent makes the kid eat
Well,
it.
that's the
So you
that's
better
the
eat
only
that
candy.
candy. It's yours.
Well, you're not getting any more candy until you eat that.
Yep.
To pick it up, wash the
An hour and a
dirt
half
off of it.
later, little Jimmy has busted through the wall like the Incredible Hulk. And
He's screaming,
seized
"Oh
up
yeah!"
on the front lawn.
No. Well, they spit it out, and then they notice that every time the ants touch it, they start acting wild and then just die. Like something wrong with his candy.
They
Timmy.
start forming octagons with their hands and limbs and then suffocate.
Ant, how you know octagon?
What you doing over there? Doing all that? Doing all that?
Okay, all right. Let's round out the news. Do we have anything else? Because I have one story we could briefly touch on, or we could just ride out on that. The story is Mr. Beast. So do you guys want to talk about Mr. Beast, or do we just ride out on the meth candy?
Well, we talked about Mr. Beast a little while
No,
ago.
we weren't recording then. Or if we were, it wasn't.
We just talk about Mr. Beast all the time.
We're just Mr. Beast heads.
This is drama alert.
Oh, don't say that. Anyway,
Keemstar.
Keemstar, what you were saying?
For real, do we want to talk Mr. Beast?
Yeah, we can talk Mr. Beast. We can.
I'm asking co-host.
Okay.
What's he think?
Man sticks 2-foot eel up his butt. Gets surgery after the eel chews through. I'm sorry. Let me see the rest of the headline. His intestines. All right. What do we think about that? Is that magic?
That feels like it feels pretty magical. I would call that
If
magic.
he wanted surgery, then it's magic.
Yeah, if he was trying to do this as like a weird like pro bono situation, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can talk about the Mr. Beast.
All right, what did Mr. Beast do today? What's Mr. Beast and his chocolate bars up to?
So, if any of our listeners don't know who Mr. Beast is, just skip through forward on this. You don't need to hear
The
this.
timestamp is 6969.
Mr. Beast, arguably like one of the biggest fucking YouTubers of all time, got exposed as not only faking videos, which you shouldn't have been surprised about, but allowing a culture of abuse and weirdness from fucking creeps and actual convicted sex offenders, I believe. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Topped it all off by hiring the same lawyer as Harvey Weinstein.
As you do.
To defend himself from these horrific accusations, I guess.
Yeah, Buddy's boned a little bit, huh?
I think to go back to your point earlier about the protective egregoric aura and shit, like his went down in like a matter of like weeks.
Well, we don't know. He might bounce back. He might bounce back from this.
True.
I mean, not only will he bounce back, but his reality is so far above most people's in that if this flips him, he's still fine.
Right. Like if this ruins his fucking career, he's still like a double millionaire.
Yeah. I don't think the comprehension of how powerful Mr. Beast is with his wealth, or I guess not powerful, but like how he's got multiple streams of revenue that are like not stopping.
That's what we're talking about when it comes to the idea of like, okay, you can get that huge meteoric rise, but can you take all of that energy coming in and stabilize it into something? And if he's done that, he has multiple business ventures. He's got a deal with like Zaxby's or some shit, like the Mr. Beast box, which
Yeah.
I'd feel like a fucking clown ordering that.
I feel like a fucking clown of a restaurant that like takes on another restaurant's mask on.
Yeah. Arguably, like, if he stopped doing anything online actively as like the Mr. Beast influencer persona, whatever, he might be okay.
It's entirely possible.
But what if he goes even harder and he becomes like a Steve Harvey kind of guy? Like we just start seeing him on like CCTV shit and like not CCTV, but like game shows and stuff.
No, because he's a YouTuber, and when you fail as a YouTuber, you go and become like a right-wing grifter. That's the pipeline now.
Oh yeah, that's happening with occultism too.
Hey.
I mean, facts.
Not even gonna say a name. But no. That's like, yeah, he could just become if Mr. Beast starts suddenly getting political, then things aren't going so well on the farm. But
hey, I just got this. Oh, dude, check it out. Mr. Beast just had this new picture. It's him and Alex Jones hanging out. I wonder what they're going to talk about. That's crazy.
God, say what you want, but like Alex Jones is a piece of garbage and says awful stuff. But when you get to those bits where he just starts talking about like the interdimensional Archon demon lords, like that's fun stuff. It's funny.
It's good.
Hillary Clinton is an interdimensional black-bellied mosquito.
You're like, oh, whoa.
And just so you know, that's a metaphor. I don't
actually. I'm not litigiously pointing out.
Yeah, but
she's actually a lovely woman.
But when I said that Sandy Hook didn't happen, that was real.
That was a metaphor.
That was also a metaphor.
I had a big bowl of chili and it made me mix my metaphors.
You ever get mixed metaphors late at night?
We got to appeal to more of Gen Z. So Kai Cenat got into a spat claiming that Kamala Harris reached out to him. He's a Twitch streamer, apparently.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude.
You know him?
Yeah, he's
You're more hip than I am.
I don't know if he's cool. Maybe I shouldn't label him as such. I'll say this like this: I've seen many a meme and many a shorts involving him.
Yeah, claiming that Kamala Harris's team reached out to him to try to secure that Gen Z vote, which is kind of what we're doing right now. And then,
it's working real good. It's working real good.
It's going straight Ohio, bro.
So much Riz. I'm gonna slip my wrists.
Gonna slip my wrists.
Is that something kids say nowadays?
So Kai is like, nah. They tried to like make me. They tried to buy me so that I would say vote for Harris. And then they're like, no, we didn't. And he's like, why would I lie about that? And they're like, I don't know. Why would you, man? That's fucking wild. This is what's going on.
Sir, we don't even know who you are. No one on this campaign is under 24.
Kamala Harris saying, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. What are you talking about? But then on the other hand, we mentioned the Elon Trump and sort of that we on the other hand, we mentioned the Elon Trump interview and sort of glazed over it. But there was also oh God, what's it? Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross gifted Donald Trump like a jewel encrusted Rolex and some shit, and then like immediately got told, bro, that's illegal. Like you can't give him that. He can't. It's not so much that like you can't gift it, but he can't accept it as like somebody running for president. You can't just like gift people. You can't gift presidential hopefuls stuff like that because it's, if nothing else, it's very bad optics. And then he's mad. Like, what do you mean I can't give it to him? This is bullshit.
I'm just showing love to my favorite president. It's fine.
Just wanted to show love to my favorite. I don't know.
Oh, well, fine. Add to that real quick because Elon and Trump apparently implied in a certain sense or just flat out said it. I don't know. I didn't watch the goddamn thing entirely. But basically implying that like, oh yeah, man, those workers striking, we should do something about that. Trying to intimidate them essentially.
Yeah.
And the UAW is suing them now.
Which is great. They should.
Oh yeah, they should. That's like the first thing that a union has done in fucking ages that I'm like, fuck yeah, finally.
There is power.
Not because I think it'll really do anything, but I do love the idea of Trump and Elon having to like waste time in court and just ruining their like Thursdays.
I mean, I think between the two of them, they probably got to go to court so much that they don't even notice it. It's like, oh, it's one more. Is it any surprise that like right-wing capitalist yahoos have a problem with unions? Like, oh, striking workers, how dare you? We should just intimidate you and threaten your family and skin you alive and everything else, you know?
That's what I've been saying.
That's like it's just one of those mask off moments where it's like, yeah, they need to remind you. Now, don't get me wrong, the Democrats, they do better. They do. So I got to give them that. They do better. But there will come a tipping point where they remind you how much they actually hate the working class.
Yeah, and I mean, and
it's
the
usually
unions,
going to be
even
right
anytime,
after you give them their votes.
And it's not like the unions haven't been corrupt cesspits that suck up to the fucking Democratic Party and just, you know, use themselves as a voting block to try to get things out of them. You know, that's not the workers' fault. It's beyond that. The workers should be demanding better representation, but that's part of why the UAW is in a position now where they are the kind of people that would do some shit like sue Elon Musk and Trump for trying to intimidate workers.
Listeners, create a union.
Yes, listeners.
Create a union against CMN.
Yeah, demand things of us. Under Biden, the star crunches got smaller.
Is that true? Well, that's not really that's not a presidential decision.
No, the president decides the size of all snack foods.
I like the guy.
No.
I really do. But every time he opens his mouth about politics, it just shows like he doesn't know anything. This man said the president controls the price of everything.
I mean, if you want to get meta about it,
Like,
in some like esoteric, like 6 degrees removed thing, I guess.
The president has control over the price of everything we pay for.
Yeah, no.
Basically, if Biden wanted gas to be $1 a gallon, he could press a button and make it happen.
No.
This is also the guy that said that if Kamala Harris became president, all of our allies were going to turn on us and World War III was going to break out, everyone against America.
Maybe more likely. Out of those 2 things he's believing, both, okay. Second one, way more.
No, you're completely right though. Like out of the 2 things that he just said, the second one is more likely. It's not likely at all, but it's more believable than Joe Biden wakes up and goes to his computer and boots up Windows 97.
Sir, everybody's wondering if you're going to raise the price on bread this week.
Cheez-Its are now $5 a box. I'm Joe Biden.
I'm Joe.
I'm
Joe. Hey.
I am Sleepy Joe Biden.
Do you want
I was the first black
My fellow
woman to serve under
Americans,
the
I'm
first
going to tell you the price of Newport 100s will now be $17 a box.
Oh, God damn it, Joe. Never mind. I was going to vote for you still.
Well, this is the fun part about Joe. This is why he would have been still kind of cool a little bit, because every day is a lottery day. In that, like, yeah, 17 today, but tomorrow it's like
just
Newports are now $3.74.
Oh my God, $3 Newports. I would. All right, Mr.
I'm waiting for the day that he pops out and he's like, "Homes are $20."
Man, does it strike anybody like the sheer amount of goodwill you could buy if you were just like, imagine you being president and you woke up one day and you were just like, weed is legal now.
You could, okay, there is like certain
Executive order.
executive orders that could be implemented that would make.
What if he
life a
just
lot
like
easier
literally
for a
did
lot
an
of people.
executive order that was like all federal agencies will no longer enforce any marijuana laws?
I mean, like, honestly, like,
People would be shitting themselves and
I
clutching
think he
their
could make
pearls
that
and being
work,
like,
honestly.
Joe Biden made crime legal.
Joe Biden,
But
with a
there-
quick sweep of his
but just-
pen, made
but just
entirety
about-
of legal sin happen.
But just about there'd be a huge, I say just about everybody, like everybody does it, but like, there'd be a huge chunk of the population that'd be like, way to go, Joe. You know what? Never mind. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Everybody like that.
Oh my God, guys. Okay. Say you wake up tomorrow, Joe Biden held a press conference and says, now I know some people are worried about my cognitive health, and I can assure you, I'm totally lucid. It's just I've been smoking that dank, sticky icky. I thought I was an indica, but really I'm more of a sativa. But regardless, I have now legalized marijuana. He just goes, I've legalized marijuana across the board, and I've done a mandate, an executive order and a mandate to.
That'd be wild.
To completely, and then he goes, also, I'm back in the game.
Also,
running.
Get me my chair.
He's just like, listen. I know you got scared for a minute. You thought I couldn't handle it, but I'm here to let you know that I love you, America, and I'm ready to make this work however I got to.
See, what I've just done here is what's called a double underdog
sugar.
story.
Honestly,
come here and give me some sugar, America. I'm back in the saddle.
If that shit magically happened, Joe Biden would have my vote forever.
That'd be lit. If that did happen.
You know what? We'll take weed off the list. What if he just woke up one day and he was like, my fellow Americans, everyone's got healthcare now.
I mean, like, also
sucks to suck if you're mad about it, but like, drug prices are capped and everyone's got healthcare, and also vote for me because I'm back in the game.
I almost feel like he should do that now. Like, that would probably be.
He'd be the comeback kid. I mean, it's like one of those things. Like, yeah, you're 90 years old and you're a skeleton, and I'm pretty sure that
what it would turn into is that I would decide that whoever was in control of Joe Biden at this point was finally doing something good with it.
Machine apparatus.
I say one step further. I say he wakes up tomorrow and he goes, guys, not only is healthcare free, but we're going to enslave all of the doctors and scientists until we have a cure for all ailments. We're going to beat mortality.
Ladies and gentlemen, I declare the end of capitalism.
Capitalism is no longer the human venture.
The dictator, I will serve as the interim head while the dictatorship of the proletariat takes over.
How cool would that be?
Make sure you vote for me. Was this recording? Was this part of the episode?
I forgot. No. No.
I would like to announce that I'm running and I have removed Kamala Harris as my VP. My new pick will be Bofa.
My new VP.
My new VP is Ray Gunn.
Oh my god.
I feel bad about that dance. Let's give her something to be happy about.
Newly Americanized citizen Reagan. She's not allowed in her own country. That's what America's about.
Where are we?
I don't know, man. I think we transported to another dimension.
Quick, you gotta ground us again. Just bring us back to this episode.
Do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing.
I swear to God, if it's
After
Rhatboi,
months.
motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. It was always Rhatboi. It had to have been
After
Rhatboi.
months of being plagued by the dreams and visions, I escaped to Romania.
My God.
But little did I know, the apartment complex at which I lived was actually home to the very essence of the Rhatboi. Back in the years before written history, arcane rituals were performed and skulls were dashed upon the rocks in the name of the Dark Lord.
Holy shit.
Rhatboi.
Holy shit, dude. You're really good at this.
Say Rhatboi, 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 Rhatboi.
Rhatboi.
I feel like I'm going insane.
At night, I still hear the dark screams, the chittering teeth, the slagging flesh of Rhatboi.
Hell yeah, brother.
I feel cursed.
Oh.
I feel like I've been cursed to this.
That sounds like a segue.
Oh, yeah. What do you know? It might be. Co-host, because this was your idea. What made you want to talk about curses?
Mostly because I don't believe curses are real.
Fair.
Interesting. Go ahead and have a seat about that.
Actually, genuinely, right? No, I think maybe it was because Tommy Kelly, and for those of you who don't know, Tommy Kelly is great.
Cool guy.
Man, you should really be checking him out. He's great. Friend of the show, Tommy Kelly, posted something for his Patreon where he's looking at his old blog posts, and it was talking about something he had done when he thought he might have been cursed. And I think maybe that's where it started. Just something rattled around in my head, and I was thinking about curses because in general, even if I did think for some reason I might have been cursed, I would never try to acknowledge it. It's like, nah, dude, curses aren't real because like it cannot benefit you in any fucking way.
Well, I think that there might be some utility to the idea of seeing the negative things in your life as put upon you by some external force and seeking to rectify it. I think the problem usually comes into it when it's like, oh no, the internet witches that I talked shit about on TikTok have cursed me.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's where I think it goes bad. When it starts turning into like the paranoid fantasy of I have enemies that are sending magical attacks on me. I think there could be some utility to the idea of being like, you know, I have hit a run of bad luck and maybe I have a curse placed upon me by some action that I did and I will use a magical method to try to rectify the situation. I think that might work. That could, if nothing else in the chaos magic sense, give you an avenue to sort of work through this current issue of things going wrong in your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I can see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that does make sense. I guess maybe that idea of like, you know, I've had a run of bad luck. I'm going to do something intentionally to break this curse, quote unquote, and really turn my whole path around and get going again in the right direction. I suppose there is something to that.
Yeah, but I think the problem is when it's like, oh no, I walked into that bookstore and the old Romanian lady pointed at me and said something about how I can't wear shoes in here. And I say, but this is a place of business. And she said something in a language I didn't understand. It must have been a curse because when I walked out of there, I got hit by a bus.
I suppose one way to putting it is like often we curse ourselves. You know, our paranoia fucks us up. Our desire to
have destiny that is like we self-inflict.
Yeah. That self-fulfilling prophecy of like, once you start thinking shit is going wrong, when you think, man, shit's going to go wrong, it's definitely gonna, and you're going to do everything in your power to bring it about.
Yeah. I always think of the word doom when I hear that sort of thing. We have, you know, the idea of doom as in like, you know, as a synonym for fate. But
yeah,
this idea that like the terrible thing that is going to happen to you is going to be entirely because that's just sort of what your lot in life is.
Inevitable.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
an inevitable fuck
no
up
way.
thing. Yeah.
And it's all because I didn't I didn't put that frog statue to the left.
Hey, don't talk about my
right.
frog. Damn.
I didn't.
No.
It's all because I didn't take the poor old foreign lady up to the top of the mountain.
Oh, I think the problem is it's like I will actively be like, nah, I can't. Yeah, curses aren't real. You can't. You know, nobody can fuck me up. But then it's like, meanwhile, when somebody makes me mad, it's like, I'll show you. I got something for that ass. And then I pull out like my collection of
A little hex
I pull
bag.
out like I pull out my hex bags that I sneak into their house or whatever the fuck they did in Supernatural.
Supernatural.
No, but like I that's when I start. I pull out my dagger and I chaos bolt them 47 times.
Well, yeah. See, that was actually sort of the idea I was thinking about too. Is
Daruma.
it's you know, again, because it's a very utilitarian sort of thing. Well, maybe not utilitarian. It's a very utility based sort of thing. Like, you don't believe in curses because most situations that you fall yourself in, believing that you have a curse on you offers you no better way out of the situation that you're currently in. Meanwhile, when it comes to the idea that you could curse somebody and you could make bad things happen to them, you're like, no, I'm definitely capable of that because it benefits me to believe that I could fuck someone up.
It's almost like some shithead Magus thing where it's like, my magic is real, but like the rest of y'all are full of it.
There's a little stinker material.
Y'all are all liar. All of you are lying. I
legitimately
actually have magic powers.
I'm just saying.
Hey, what were you doing earlier? Just killing some orcs.
There's literally one person that I know for a fact was good enough at magic to make something bad happen to me by doing magic. And it wasn't even that bad. But if that's the level I'm talking about, where it's like, I think that most people legitimately are bad at this shit. Or more even specifically, the type of personality that gets angry at me and would waste the effort to curse me is more than likely someone that's bad at magic anyway. Because you would have to get your feelings hurt by my dumb shit.
In my defense, I'm like a goofy little guy. So like, why are you even mad at me?
Like, have you seen what I look like? And it's just like a little picture of like a little dude. Like,
I'm a little guy. I'm a little birthday boy. That is my banishing ritual to break my curses.
It's a picture. It's a picture of a possum with a birthday hat on and saying, "This is who you're being mean to when you curse me."
Yeah,
so you know.
Just so you know, just so you're aware.
The ultimate curse defense.
What do you think it is culturally about curses that bring so much on? Because I think as magicians, it's probably one of the first things you do when you get involved in magic. Maybe not curse somebody, but you start mulling over the idea of like, well, if I can do magic, I could do magic to do bad things to people, right?
I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
I believe for the chaos magicians among us, hopefully listening to the podcast,
you guys like news, right?
for the coyotes among us, we don't ascribe morality to magic, really. And magic is what you do. If you use electricity to microwave a burrito, or if you use it to shock an elephant, it's not the electricity's fault. You didn't do bad electricity. It's just the app.
Oh. Gesundheit.
I'm dying.
Dude, you just got cursed.
You've been cursed.
I've been cursed.
Well, I sent a package to you. You might remember this about a month ago.
I'm Andrew Dice Curse.
I'm Andrew Dice Curse, Clay.
Continue.
You suck.
I know.
End this podcast right now. It's not the electricity's fault what you did with it. It's not like, oh, you did bad stuff. But in a weird way, I do think that part of the belief in curses almost comes from this, from a moralism. Because quite often when you hear stories about curses, it's somebody did something wrong. It's very often so-and-so was a dickhead, and then they got their comeuppance because it's like, oh, they fucked around and found out because they were an asshole to everybody. And then they were an asshole to the one person who had like spooky woo-woo where they could send a snapper turtle ghost to bite your fucking dick while you were sleeping or something like that, you know?
Right.
Oh no, the dreaded snapper turtle
the snapper turtle ghost curse. Yeah, that's one of the
famous curse.
Who among us has not inflicted the snapping turtle ghost curse on somebody's penis?
Yeah, I don't think you're an actual true coyote if you haven't. I would
Really,
challenge
yeah.
anybody
I'm
that
just saying
says that they are.
And if you haven't done it, you need to go cast it right now on
Immediately.
your boss, preferably.
So quite often, stories about curses can pop up as almost morality tales of explaining like, oh man, don't be a piece of shit. And then sometimes curses appear as I don't want to say power fantasy, because curses ostensibly work if you believe in witchcraft, spooky woo-woo, occultism, esoteric practices, that sort of thing. If you buy into that, then you sort of acknowledge curses can work. You can do nasty stuff to people or malefic stuff to people.
You can also like tar and feather a person.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could just go whoop somebody's ass too. Like we've said that before. It's like the best curse is just to walk up to somebody and punch him in the fucking nose and say, I'm tired of your
This
shit.
is my curse, and it's a bat that says curse on it.
But they do in a way they represent the means by which the dispossessed. I think Seth Salem gave me that term. I was listening to the interview and he was like the dispossessed, and it's like, man, that's perfect. That is the word I was looking for.
Yoink.
Magic represents the means by which the dispossessed can get one over on those who normally would be able to escape the consequences of their actions. Does that make sense?
No,
I
yeah,
think so.
definitely. Just as a sort of quick aside before you go back to that point, because we were talking about the idea of curses being, if you believe in magic, essentially you have to believe in the idea that curses are real. Because if you can do one thing with magic, you can probably do something awful to somebody with magic, and that's all essentially what a curse is.
And while we establish you don't have to. You can actively deny the idea that anybody can curse you and then being like, I'm gonna hit you with my spirit gun.
Lightning bolt, motherfucker.
Right. But I'm also remembering earlier episodes where we made the comment of like the way it works when you curse somebody is you curse them and you wait for something bad inevitably to happen to them,
And then you
take credit for it.
Yeah.
So in the
yeah.
sense of being the weapon of the dispossessed, it kind of makes sense because if being someone that has legitimately no real influence or power, being able to take credit psychologically for horrible things happening to somebody, which inevitably, as we've said over and over again, happens to all of us, because that's sort of what life is good things happen and then bad things happen eventually. It makes sense. There's a rationality to this fantasy.
Yeah, but then on the other level too, certain things will happen to people that are like, that is a, shitty things happen. You might have a car break down on you, or your girlfriend leaves you, or an unexpected bill pops up, or a loved one gets ill. But then there's like shit that happens that it's like, man, that is that's fucked up. Something fucky is going on. You lost 3 of your sons in a very short span of time, or man, you lost your girl and then your car broke down and then you lost your job, and then your landlord said that they found out that you've been keeping a snapping turtle in there and now they're kicking you out. And you're like, what are you talking about? That's a ghost. And then like, ghosts aren't real. Where it's like, there's sometimes things will pile up where it's like, man, this person got fucked. So I guess there is that give and take of like, and then that also turns into the weighting the averages. It's like, you're never going to get results be your proof, as the saying goes. Sometimes there are even stories in folk legends and popular culture of like curses where it's like, oh man, something really fucked up was going on. It's like, man, you better hope it was a curse. Otherwise, you had like a fucking serial killer just hanging out with you guys.
I mean, I think both can be true in some senses. You can get cursed and also
it just hit you with the serial killer curse.
Oh shit, I got the scream curse on me. Okay, what's some real curses?
Yeah, I was kind of leading there. There are some notable examples of curses. And
I've never heard of one.
Thank you,
Ever.
yes, and master.
Never.
I never heard of a single goddamn one in my life.
What's this? What do you call them? Curses?
Like dang or heck?
like heck and penids.
Or if you call someone
craps, sucks, and penids.
if you call someone a bee-itch, have you ever heard of that word? That's a bad
bunghole.
curse.
Oh man. Okay. There's a couple notable ones here. The first one that popped up when I was just hunting around, we'll call them culturally conditioned curses. Curses
So
that
racism.
sort of, but like say curses that exist in a certain type of culture and they're so ingrained that they can at the bare minimum, they can cause a sort of psychosomatic response, kind of in the way that there are culture bound illnesses. There are culture bound curses where it's like this happens in this particular group of people, and then it's fucked up.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The Aboriginals of Australia and the like, right?
Oh,
They
if anyone
have-
got cursed, they got cursed.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, they had some really awful stuff happen to them. But within their culture, there is the Kurdacha, which I hope I'm pronouncing right. It is a type of it's a type of shaman, medicine man type thing. Also notable, they would cast death on people, and there's a type of curse called bone pointing. And it was the idea of like you would take a sharpened bone or something or some sort of like instrument, sort of an instrument of death, a magical weapon of some kind, and you'd point it at somebody, and it would just fuck them up. Like they'd waste away, or they in a weird way. It seems like realistically what happened it would induce a bout of paranoia amongst this person where they'd stop eating or drinking, or the panic and stress would set in, and that would kill them.
Wow, nice.
If you had that as absolute in your life as like a truth, then that would be like, it's happening anytime now. It's going to happen.
There's even supposedly there are units in Australia, sometimes in certain Australian hospitals that deal with this phenomena because it is so viscerally real to people when it happens to them, and it freaks them the fuck out. And they're like, well, we got to have like we got to have some kind of Glenda Goodwitch on the side here to sort of like magically snap them out of it.
Have you ever seen the anime Shaman King?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is. I already said Spirit Gun earlier. We talking animes now?
We're just doing weeb shit.
So wait, they got shamans on deck though?
Yeah, it's apparently like, I'm sure it's not a common enough practice. It's not like you go into the Australian hospital and there's just like, oh yeah, there's Pete over there. He's our anti-shaman.
That's Dr. Pete Shaman MD.
I found that an infinitely fascinating one.
His blood pressure is over 80/20, and he's got a demon on his shoulder.
Wait, real quick. There is a story in 2004 where somebody did like a bone pointing curse on the Australian Prime Minister.
Now they got blood in their video games.
Nah, it didn't work, sadly. I say that. I mean, he might have
felt a little woozy. Might have had a headache.
I'm way too amused by that.
Illuminatus starts off with political leaders being cursed, and it mentions that the atheistic cultures of the Russian USSR and China made it that the curses weren't nearly as effective, but they would still induce headaches. But I do think there's something very interesting. The idea of Robert Anton Wilson did a thing called like, don't be afraid of black magic. And he describes the idea of, in the right cultures, you could curse the president and say they're going to die at midnight on August 19th. And if everybody being so enamored in the game of the shaman, it's like, on August 19th, whatever politician that was cursed would feel obligated to lay down on the ground and die.
They would feel obligated.
I think that's such a great way of phrasing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like
So
they would be inclined to. It'd be there in their best interest.
Oh man, I'm supposed to. Shit.
Damn, I forgot.
I really don't
Sorry,
want.
guys.
I don't want to, but like, what other choice do I have? He cursed me. I better go die.
He cursed me. I didn't curse him.
I guess I'll just die.
Guess I'll just fucking die. It doesn't even matter. Whatever.
Yeah, but that seemed like one of the most pointed versions of a curse that I could bring up to you guys. I think it's really interesting. There is something to the idea too of like with bone pointing. It's not like you're hiding in the shadows pointing a bone. The point is,
Hey.
But the purpose is that they see you pointing the thing at them, or it's like, oh shit.
Oh, you got to do it like you can't just do it in the sanctity of your own home or your own little hut. You gotta do it while at them, like while they're there.
I think the idea is that it does induce the fear and panic in them because they see you doing it.
Right. How cool would it be though? Like just theoretically, hypothetically, if we got a bone, like say like a human bone, right? And like, what if I did that across country?
Just staring at your TV while someone is on film and just being like, Ray gun. I mean, hey, it's always worth a try, right?
Patreon listeners, if you want to send us a bone
that we can point at somebody,
send it to us and tell us who you want.
Tell us whose
want
bone
us to
it
poke
is.
And also, don't tell us anything.
And never speak to us again.
In fact, unsubscribe.
Okay, so in the spirit of this one, I actually have one curse that I think is interesting because it's in the same vein as that, and then I have more of them that are just not, I think, more in line with what we think of like as cultural curses, where they don't really tend to come from somebody, but they just people are cursed. They picked up a bad vibe or whatever.
Right.
This is called the Daigen Suyo.
Okay.
This is a ritual that was done in Japan in the 1st century onward. This is a ritual to a figure called Atvaka, which is he was a yaksha, which is, like a demon, and he's like a wisdom king in
His name is Art Fucker. What is it?
Atvaka.
Atvaka.
This figure isn't really the important part. The important part is that this ritual was perpetuated and done essentially as a military curse.
Like, if you ever have a militia, they're all going to be shit and die.
Yeah, it was like, we do this ritual and pray that, hey, it was for defense from foreign invaders and to capitulate enemy nations. Basically meaning we are about to go fight some people. You better make it so we fuck them the fuck up.
That's awesome.
But people took it very seriously. It had to be performed in the presence of the emperor, and court aristocracy was not allowed to perform it on their own. They had to get permission to.
Wow.
Famous Japanese figure Oda Nobunaga was apparently a part of the restoration of an image of Atvaka during his reign. Even well into the Meiji era, this was still performed.
That's crazy.
The part that I want to talk about, though, was World War II. Because in World War II, a handful of monks began performing the rite to curse Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Oh, no.
That's awesome.
So they began performing it in January of 45. And allegedly, 3 months later, FDR drops dead.
Do you think they just knew he was on his way out?
No, I do not think that some random Japanese monks realized that President FDR was secretly very sick.
Really good for a second. They were like, well, he's like, what, 60 something? No one lives past 65 around this time. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. Explain it
well,
to me.
There is the notion of when you're doing magic, you're gunning for things that have a likelihood of possibility. The idea of doing magic in the middle of the desert for water is hard. Like, what's the chances that like a spout of water is going to shoot out of the ground? So there is that thought of like, oh man, that's just what was going to happen. It's like, well, maybe this person gave them the necessary little bump for it to happen.
Yeah, possible.
But at the same time, you said 3 days?
3 months.
3 months. Oh, that's still for a world leader shit.
Yeah, right?
Because that also goes back to what I was talking about, that idea of that they have that protective aura of devotion and allegiance of people building up that psychic fervor around them.
Yeah. It was also just one of the few curses I could find that I felt was like big enough that you could kind of bring it into that, the other area I'm going to talk about a little bit is the sort of cultural curses.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because, FDR, that's a big thing. The other end of curses that we hear often about is more of the cultural kind of thing where it's just sort of like someone or something is cursed. For instance, there's a mass-produced portrait by Giovanni Bregolin called The Crying Boy, and it's just kind of like a little kid looking like, like he's crying, he's sad, he's a sad little boy. He kind of looks like he could have been in Home Alone maybe. But there's an urban legend about it being cursed, with firefighters reporting that like they keep finding undamaged copies of it in burnt down houses.
Interesting. What if it's like a PR stunt and people are going out and putting them after the fact?
There's also the famous Kennedy curse.
Wait, like lobotomies and like having a podcast and like,
oh god,
and a brainworm.
And like, what are you talking about?
For those of you that don't know, the Kennedy family, not my Kennedy family, the other one, the one president. The guy who's like, no, I didn't eat no dog. What you talking about, baby? Yeah. That guy's family, they're fucked.
The one got shot in the head, two got shot in the head. One had a lobotomy, so it's like getting shot in the head, but real slow.
Oh my god.
What else happened?
Drug overdose, skiing accident, disappeared in a plane crash.
That family was cursed as fuck, dude.
Multiple assassinations.
Disappeared with 8-year-old son.
Okay, I have one thing to say about this, in not contest, but like just another thing I just thought about. Their time frame of being president or having political power and notoriety, right?
Yeah.
Was right in the perfect time in which news media outlets had not been like as fast as they are now. It could have just been a nature of like that time frame. Like, I don't know. I've never thought about this, but right before Kennedy, like, was there more people trying to fuck up the last president? Like,
Well, oh, hey, actually, perfect segue. Because there's also the curse of Tippy Canoe. Have you heard of this?
no, who's Tippy Canoe?
William Henry Harrison was nicknamed Old Tippy Canoe.
All right, I'm in.
According to legend, Tenskwata?
Is that guy that helped write Psychonauts?
Oh my God. The younger brother of
Gold.
Tecumseh.
Get the fuck out of here with these ligma jokes. Stop.
Oh my God. No, they're fucking native. They're indigenous American leaders.
Okay, cool. They sound like dick and ball jokes.
Essentially, because William Henry Harrison went to the Battle of Tippecanoe and with a military expedition, 8 presidents have died.
Jesus, are you serious?
The idea is apparently if the years are divisible by 20, that the year that they were elected, you will die, because William Henry Harrison, Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, Warren G. Harding, FDR, and JFK all died.
So it never was like there was never a president missed in that divide by 20 thing.
No, because Reagan did not die in office and George W. Bush did not die in office. But
I was about to say.
But from William Henry Harrison to JFK, all of them dropped dead. But Reagan did get shot, so maybe Reagan broke the curse by living.
Well, George W. got hit with that shoe.
That's true.
I think the thing I'm curious about is like what do you think was the ritual that Tecumseh's brother had to do to curse? Like, that's such an odd curse to think of.
Dude, it's so easy. I don't want to say it for the people because it's not, it's a repeatable oral thing, but like a high. You know what I'm getting at.
You know the rest.
You know the rest.
I have one more we can touch on because I think it's pretty funny. Have you guys heard of the Curse of Turan?
No, I haven't.
So the Curse of Turan is the belief that anyone of Hungarian descent has been cursed to have inner strife, pessimism, misfortune, and horrible events of all kinds.
That's why they're hungry.
Hey.
Oh.
That just sounds like an Englishman's description of meeting a Hungarian in like the medieval ages.
That sounds like an Englishman's description of meeting an Englishman.
They're just like this.
Hungarians just blaming the shit, the shit state of their people and just being like, yeah, we're cursed, man. We're all cursed.
What I think is even wilder is that they have like several theories about why.
Here, the following is a list of bad things that happened to Hungary. 1, not enough sandwiches.
Oh my God. So there are 2 things that get blamed overall for the curse. One of them is Hungary's conversion to Christianity.
Okay.
That'll do it.
I feel that.
The second one is the failure of the Hungarian Revolution of 1848.
Oh.
Okay.
I think isn't that interesting? Because that's like the spectrum of like things. It's like Christianization and revolution of 1848.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We did not achieve liberal democracy properly. We are cursed.
I wanted to talk about the curse of the Pharaohs, or the mummy's curse, or the notably like the curse of King Tut was the one.
Ooh.
The opening of Tutankhamun's tomb is like a super, super big one. It's like a cultural.
People died like instantly, right? Or like fairly,
Yeah,
like pretty
it's like
quickly. Like
supposedly.
There was Howard Carter was the man who led the unearthing, or whatever I guess you want to call it. And then, like you said, like a couple members died, and then it's like they open the tomb and weird stuff starts happening where it's like people say like, oh, I heard a voice, and then there's like, oh, snakes showed up in weird places, or weird shit like, oh, I got bit by this bug and I got a blood disease from it and all kinds of crap like that.
Definitely not because like I'm an English Westerner in a foreign country where I have no built up immunities.
Malaria? I've never heard of her.
Definitely the curse.
There was a theory thrown around that there was some sort of toxic spores inside the tomb. So when they opened it just started killing people.
Yeah, that could absolutely be possible.
I think that theory got discredited down the road too, but
those tombs are not like oxygen sealed. Like in some areas potentially because of the structure of them, but like
you got black mold in the mummy's tomb.
You see that? That's black mold right there. You want to get that checked out immediately.
Just explaining to J.K. Rowling what's going on in her home. That's one of those that like that is the mummy's curse of like, oh man, you opened up this tomb and now you're cursed or whatever. That's something that's ingrained in the pop culture mindset too, of like the idea of like you unearth bones or you open this tomb or whatever. It's like, damn it, now I'm cursed. Shit, I should have known.
Yeah.
You got to just leave dead to be dead.
I'm getting haunted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, you're just, but like exactly. It traces its origin to like the 1920s where like 6 people died.
That's awesome.
Which is a lot. If I knew 6 people in my vicinity died over a somewhat relatively short period of time, I'd be freaking the fuck out.
I'd be a little upset. Yeah, I'd be more than upset. I'd be scared.
But it also that goes to part of what I was talking about in the idea of we look at curses almost with a moral bend, where it's the idea of like it was wrong to open these tombs. So like it makes sense that you're getting this sort of magical, cosmic, divine retribution for messing with forces beyond your meager comprehension.
I like the idea that it's such a massive structure that it's really just the souls of all that died working on it. And it's not that they're maleficent, they're just like them existing as death.
Damn, that just made me sad.
Oh.
What else you got?
The entire month of August is cursed if you're in Russia.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll bite. Is it because Ukraine's fucking them up right now, or?
Oh,
I think it's because it's the summer and they don't like the summer.
Now they're just like, yep, we were right. We were right. Look what happened. It's August. We're getting bombed. It's fucked up.
That is a very interesting psyche thing, though, because I wonder how known this pop culture like curse is in Russia. In which case, is there like a weird like it's on their mind, so like no one's actually saying like, oh, it's the curse, but it's like everyone.
Well, no, but they're all unconsciously fucking themselves up.
Yeah, like it's like
earlier,
emotionally distressing.
Because they're like, it's August.
Oh, that's such an interesting thought.
Well, what's the reason?
Yeah. Oh no, the curse got him.
No, it's like the problem is I can't really find much of an origin. It's just sort of accepted amongst Russia that like August is a bad luck month.
Wow. It's like we got like Friday the 13th and Russians are like all of August.
All of August.
The entirety of August.
August was really bad. Never again.
Some people pointed out that like terrorist attacks and bad shit like that are more likely to happen because like important leaders and members of governance take off during August because it's like, that's like the end of the summer, you get your vacation in, that sort of thing. So like
sun is too
they're
hot.
Not just not paying attention. Yeah. Sun too hot. We leave.
We leave, go to Hawaii.
Oh, no.
Still hot, but nice hot. What are we talking about, guys? Russia is in a conflict with Ukraine right now, and Ukraine has been using American weapons.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, in the month of August, they slip up and Ukraine gets over their border and starts bombing the shit out of them. It looks like these guys are just right.
Pretty cool.
Sorry, you got cursed.
Ukraine is aware of their curse, and they're like, they're weak during the August
could
month.
you imagine the fucking psyops people fucking going ham with that shit? Like, when do we put our offensive? Oh, wait till August. Why? Because it's the curse month in Russia.
Oh, that's amazing.
They're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
We hit them hard one time. They're going to be freaking out.
That's a very interesting thought about that. Yeah.
I mean, it is a good point. I guess that's like, if you wanted to curse somebody, I suppose that's what you have to play to some kind of superstition or weak point that they have that they would become convinced that you could weasel in and fuck them up.
So what else you got?
The Tichborne Dole curse. The Tichborne family was a well-to-do family of England. And Lady Mabella Tichborne started a tradition of like, adult, like literally they would be giving out, they'd be giving to the needy,
Okay.
Eaten long enough now, stop being greedy, that sort of thing. But they would literally they'd be giving food out to the poor, and that, which is good for them. That's the right thing to do. And Lady Mabella was like, listen, if we ever stop this, they would have 7 sons, then 7 daughters, and then the family name would die out. And in 1796, they stopped. And they were like, man, fuck it. We don't care about them poor people no more. Within a number of years, basically, like, the family had just died out. Like, everybody's like, the whole family was getting fucked. Like, oh no, shit. And they reinstated at the last minute just enough that, like, they reinstated so that there was a single son left to continue the name on. So we didn't get to see if that curse would really come to fruition, but through a string, now granted, this was a number of years, but through a string of poor events after they decided, nah, fuck you, you can be hungry. But that's what I keep getting back to, of the idea of, like, curses seem to have, like, this moral element to them. It's not, there aren't nearly as many stories about curses from people who, like, just definitely didn't deserve it, or, like, worse yet, like, mean, awful people cursing good people and then just being like, fuck them.
Yeah. Although part of me is just really irked by the idea of, like, why would you be like, oh yeah, if we stop doing this, we're gonna be fucked? Why would you even think that?
That's pretty, like, manifest self-destruction.
It might have something to do with the idea of, like, she really wanted, it's like, look, I love my family, but, like, you guys really need to understand that it is important to give away to the poor, because if we don't, they are going to turn on us and eat us.
I think what we've just realized, I just realized, is that is, I think, verbatim the mission statement of Reaganomics. Trickle down.
I'm not touching that one. Yeah. I already feel cursed in this conversation.
Hey.
All right, next one.
The last one I've got is a story of the 1969. In 1969, the Australian team, the Socceroos, had a game against Rhodesia, and they sought out a shaman, probably like an Aboriginal Kurdacha, or however I'm probably going to mispronounce it. Something akin to that, and the idea of, like, all right, we're going to curse the Rhodesian team and really sock it to them. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'll totally do it. It's just going to, like, cost you some money. And they're like, about that. And he turns around and gets mad and is like, I'm just going to fuck you guys up now. It's like, what? Why'd you waste my time? And this is a sports, and we were talking about this. There's a lot of sports legends where whether it's the curse of the Bambino, or the Billy Goat that couldn't get into the stadium, or, man, he said $1,000 and we were like, I ain't got that kind of money for curses. And he just said, like, well, now it's your curse.
Now this is a holdup. Now put the money in the bag.
Give me the money,
prepare to be
or
cursed.
You're cursed forever. Now you got Snap a Turtle Ghost curse on your PB. How you like that?
Yeah, how you like that shit?
But this curse supposedly lasted for years, to the point that they hired a different shaman, medicine man type, who communed with the spirit of the original one to get him to lift the curse.
Wow.
That's fucking awesome.
That guy, I hope he got paid bank for that, because that's fucking funny as shit.
It's up there with the Bobby Lane curse, honestly.
That is a whole area that we probably don't even have time to go into properly.
That's its own episode, to be honest.
Yeah, because, like, like
just
sports,
the relationship of sports, curses, magic, all that stuff.
Yeah, because, like, that was a good one because it involved, like, an actual curse. But, like, so many of these things are just like the curse of the Bambino, where, fucking they sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees, and then the Mets didn't fucking win.
He said,
forever.
my curse will live with you for 7 times 7 generations. As you have rejected the Bambino, you have rejected me.
Okay, well, shit. Does that round out curses?
Well, almost. Real quick. Yeah, we're good.
So, after all of that, it's time for the nice palate cleanser question. How goes the work? Co-host, would you like to start?
Well, we did a group serious working with some folks in the Discord. That was pretty neat.
I think I got fucking on a ride with that.
Oh yeah,
I had
like
some-
I've been seeing 23s fucking goddamn everywhere nonstop because of it, which is kind of like a mild thing considering the weird stuff that I've gotten with series. But at least since we've done that ritual, it has not stopped. Like even today, I saw tons and tons of them and just had to sit there and go like, God damn, serious.
Yeah, I was left sort of just feeling reinvigorated and more perceptive of those mild synchronicities and making those connections. So that was a lot of fun. I also used it as an attempt to do some working with like the duality of the rays of Horus and the tunnels of Set, as Kenneth Grant put it. But the Kabbalistic tree and the normal positive aspects, and then the shells of the clip off. And it's led to some interesting experiences and some ideas, some stuff that happened. Nothing profound and really easy to pin down yet, but it's been fun. I also did another minor group ritual where it was just sort of Cios in the Discord gave us the MO that he did for one ritual that he did, and we all kind of reproduced it in our own ways, and it produced some rather funky dreams. It's neat stuff to interpret. Nothing like, oh wow, I did this to make this happen and that sort of thing. It's like a lot of it. It's more of the mysticism-y end of it right now, but it's going to circle back around to more broad applications at some point. Sometimes you just got to enjoy the ride. What about you?
Well, okay, rolling out the simple things I have to get out of here. Shout out to Ganesha. Ganesha Chaturthi is coming up, so we'll be celebrating that as usual. Shout out to Klonek, beloved of Lucifer. Everyone, if you need a demon that will be a pain in your ass for many years to come, but will bring the results when it really comes down to it, go get you some Klonek.
Klonek. He's our man. If he can't do it,
then we'll give up and be sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know I mentioned I know I mentioned last time, and maybe the time before that even, about yelling at demons and stuff. And yeah, that's what I was doing because as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I went back to work finally, and I was doing it to get a job, a good job, a job that's not just me crushing beans with a hammer or whatever.
Hooray!
Dude, being Gallagher was way cooler than what you're doing now. So just letting you know.
But yeah. So magic is real. It works. Demons are real.
And if you don't like to hear that, fuck
off.
Then a curse.
Yeah, then curse on you.
Then you get a curse, and you can go back to eating your boogers.
You get a little goober.
And you get the curse of booger breath.
Booger breath.
But yeah, I actually, oddly enough, after getting all of that situated and kind of getting my life back in like working order after the move and going back to work finally and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of got myself reinvigorated too, got myself back to a much more productive daily practice, I guess is the way I would describe it.
Good. You got more of a standard schedule,
yeah,
rituals kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I went back to the kind of routine that I had when I was before I moved. That
good.
sort of
it's
thing.
Good to stabilize.
And it's
that
good.
way.
Yeah, exactly. It's been very good. And I've started undergoing, things that are not as simple and base as, well, I need a job and I need money. Get back to the work that I feel is relevant to what I'm actually trying to do in life, not simply getting the material aspects I need. But yeah, it's been good. Oddly enough, and relevant to this, I am going to curse somebody. So
cool.
Yeah. That is the one thing that I have that's still
Fuck
like,
them.
you know
They
what?
deserve it.
Fuck you. Yeah, they do. Fuck them.
Who is it?
Oh,
there we go.
But other than that, nothing super crazy, but good stuff. It's good stuff. It's nice when a plan comes together. What about you, G? What do you got?
I got some like really sad, wacky shenanigans going on in my head, but it was a rough experience in some ways with certain things. Just noticed a lot of stuff.
We all have those dark moments, but
I've been
You just
having
gotta
some
kinda
pretty
work through and
fucking big
process 'em.
ones, big waves of them. So,
I'm sorry, man. I hope it gets better for you.
oh yeah, no, it's all good. It's all learning stuff and moving forward. Nothing's like bad. Just I don't want to really get into it.
That's fine. We will move on then.
I heard dogs a lot though, which is like probably just me being more observant to the media I'm consuming, and dogs are just around.
Yeah.
But
Oh, there was that
a lot of
One Piece thing
synchronicities.
too.
Oh, dude, well that was fucking wild. Okay, yeah, that's a
that
great
was
one.
like literally the next day afterwards.
Okay, so One Piece fans and ones that are to be converted at some later date. There was a scene that was animated recently of the Egghead arc where Garp, who is Luffy's grandpapa, who is a Navy admiral, makes his big ass shonen fuck you entrance. And two things were happening for Dog Days. It was right after this. It was the next day after the group ritual stuff.
Yeah, it was like the morning.
Yeah, they released it on the YouTube channel for Toei, I guess, or I can't remember it's on Crunchyroll. It's on Crunchyroll's YouTube. And Garp has a dog figured masthead on his boat for one. That's his like motif. He wears like a dog thing, like a dog hoodie, I guess, or like a hat. It's dog centric, dog motif. And then his grand entrance was him punching the ground with this thing called Galaxy Impact, and he turned into like a red star.
Yeah.
Like it's just like so much shit like that.
Literally just Dog Star right there.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's fucking bananas. It was very cool.
I always love, I don't know what other people's experiences are like, obviously, but it's really interesting to me how Sirius has always been attached to like the strangest fucking media I've consumed. Like, like literally One Piece, Fire Sign Theater, Moby Dick, just all of these things have been associated with Sirius in my life.
It's a wacky world out there, everybody.
The world is very dangerous. There's no need for fighting. Suckers trying to hide, like the struggle won't find them.
That's great.
Most definitely.
That's way better than what I was going to say. I was going to say the world is a Dragula.
All right. Well, with that.
I'm in a vampire. I'm sorry. Fuck.
And with that, this has been Chaos Magic News.
The only podcast endorsed by the Rhatboi.
There we go.
Oh, God.
The only podcast ruined by the Rhatboi.
The only podcast owned by the Rhatboi.
If you too would like to be ruined by the Rhatboi, you can try it at chaosmagicnews.com, where we'll have
ruined by
links
the
to
Rhatboi
pod, links to-
t-shirts.
where you'll find all the relevant links to more episodes like this in our interview series and even the occasional article and other stuff. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter sometimes, kind of, sort of, where we're posting dank memes and links to much of the same, just trying to keep that algorithm pumping. But if you haven't heard in the other blithering comments of this episode, we also have a Patreon where we're posting exclusive content on a monthly basis, where right now we're breaking down the occult iceberg, going tier by tier, and the second tier video should be dropping probably has dropped right before this, and the third one will be out before you know it.
It might even already be out, depending on how quickly I edit these things.
Or just how time works and you listen to this when you do.
Yeah, if you listen to this in like 2026, then it's already out. And, the Patreon probably costs more now, too. So
if you're listening to this in
really
2026, thanks.
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you a real one.
You an MVP.
Also, you smell nice. I don't care what anyone else has said about you under their breath. You're great.
We're a little less cologne, though. Just because I do care about you. Just, that's one thing you could do to improve.
And if you could, like be a little less sussy baka about stuff, that'd be really cool.
I don't know what any of those words mean, and I'm scared. Moving on.
It's a curse.
And also, if you do join the Patreon, even if it is in 2026, you get to be a part of this reading of names.
Fucking flawless.
So, with that said,
that was a great segue. I was a fan.
thank you, Liz. Thank you, Local. Thank you, Cios93. Thank you, Hope Loki Sater, the 23rd LLC. Thank you, Andrea WK. Thank you, Obsbleck. Thank you, Coco. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Acolyte 1 of the Ice Magic Meditation Society. Thank you, Kirsty. Thank you, Fyodor Krenizny. Thank you, Venus Christ. Thank you, Tent Athena. Thank you, Bearded Vegan. Thank you, Tremov. Thank you, Tangy Darlin. Thank you, DD Destruction. Thank you, Toziel Obscurus. Thank you, Lavender Ghost. Thank you, Tommy Kelly. And thank you, Double Deered. Or Double Deered? I don't know. Genuinely, thank you all for supporting us. It really means so much more than words can really justify.
Absolutely. If we can get to continue doing what we like to do, it'd be really cool.
And with that, Gary, would you like the last word? Because I'm pretty sure Cohost has fallen asleep.
Yeah, sure.
I have, actually. I'm very tired.
There we go.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
I think I've thrown my voice out doing the Rhatboi thing.
Good, because now that means you'll stop.
You deserved it. You deserved it.
Wait, no, we're not recording. I love the Rhatboi. I love the Rhatboi. Don't tell the listeners.
I literally just started right before you said that.